All right, guys. There's, dude, we're really. I mean, that's another SNEAKO video. But hey, listen, people are like, Papa, you gotta watch this. I mean, listen, you're telling me I have to watch it. What else am I supposed to do? I'm a bot. I have to do whatever you guys tell me to do. That's the reality. But I'm honestly, this stuff is entertaining to me. That's all I can really say. It's entertaining to me. So let's watch it. I mean, I might as well watch it live and react to it, because then I get paid. All right. Little life lesson for you guys: move with a purpose. You can get paid to do something. Just do it. You know what I mean? As long as it's legal, of course. So
people more powerful than me are telling me to do it. I instantly don't believe them.
Okay. Do you understand that that just makes you a sheep of the other herd, right?
Oh man, this is starting to. Okay.
Right?
Of what herd?
If there is a shepherd and he says all the sheep go left, you can either choose your own path or you can go right because he told you to go left. You understand? You're being just as controlled, right?
So who's controlling me?
Damn.
The people that you don't like. All I ever hear you guys talk about.
Wait, that was actually crazy. That was interesting. I've never thought about it like that before because I'm dumb. Okay. Wow. It's like, it's not even a profound point, but it was like a lot for me. Okay. Okay. That was interesting. Bro, sometimes like the dumbest things make me like, wow. Because all he's saying is like, yeah, you're not making your own path. You're just going in the opposite direction. You're just being a contrarian. There's nothing particularly like insightful about just going against the status quo rather than thinking for yourself. But sometimes somebody might be actually correct when they tell you to do something, even if you don't like that person. That's why you should try to evaluate these situations for yourself.
About our cars, mansions, 30 hoes. Why?
Word. Because that's dope. That's. Like,
do you understand that when you talk about like a spiritual void, do you think that a spiritual void exists today in the Western world?
Yeah, I believe in God.
Okay, when you talk about those things, those are the exact types of journeys that lead you to the spiritual void. You're the male Kim Kardashian.
Damn, that's true. That's true. Those would be the. I guess those would also be the reasons why, like, our society.
Kardashian.
Those would also be the reasons why we're kind of hitting this void, right? Is like all the glorification of that kind of behavior. Okay. Sorry, I'm just like lowering the game volume now. It's a little too loud.
That's the whole point.
I'm the male Kim Kardashian?
Yes. If you had a daughter and a guy like you came up to that daughter, would you let your daughter date that guy? If your daughter was 18 and Andrew Tate came up to her and when he's 40 years old, would you let your daughter date that guy?
Absolutely not, bro. I feel like that would be that. I feel like that would be like of course not. That would be that to me. I mean, I don't think that person would treat my daughter very well. Like, oh, they have money, yeah, but I would be like, yeah, you shouldn't do that. Like, you should be wary of like older guys that want younger girls. Not because like they kind of just want somebody who will listen, who won't really stick up for themselves. And I'm not saying that it should be illegal. I'm just saying that like morally or you know, you should be wary of that. Unless it's Keemstar, of course, because you know he actually loves. He'll actually fall in love with a younger girl. Okay. But most older men won't fall in love with the girl. They just want to have somebody that they can kind of be a little bit more controlling over.
You wouldn't. You're not putting out into the universe the type of energy to get the type of woman that you want when you're in your late 20s.
Damn.
My channel just got, I don't know if you heard, I had a copyright strike. It's gone. It's gone.
Oh, cool.
YouTube reviewed the content. They said it was nudity yesterday and I had a strike on my channel. First thing, and Destiny, I'm gonna tell you this I got a warning on my channel for Coco for some COVID misinformation, a bunch of horse shit. And now I got another warning. I got a warning for nudity yesterday. And there was no nudity. I had a shirt on, I was doing push-ups. And they took me down for nudity, but I think it was because the title of my stream was SMD Susan. But SMD can mean anything. What if I was saying so much danger, right? I'm looking.
Bro, this is coming off. This is so intense right off the bat. He's just fucking yelling already. Holy moly. Okay.
Susan, so much danger, Susan. I care about you. It's a safe space for us all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Oh, Ab is there.
So are you not willing to accept the fact that the establishment wants you on YouTube?
Well, yeah, I guess if they reviewed it and they decided to put it back up, I guess then the establishment isn't against you.
Say it again?
The establishment, somebody's pulling for you back there. Some dude.
Yeah.
No, I guess so.
No, I have people like behind the scenes like that are helping me out.
Oh, so you are the establishment. You're the man. You're the guy.
Yeah, you're part of it. You got connections within the establishment that enable you to do what you want to do.
Yeah, but you know what you're saying is horseshit, right? You know that's not true. This is they have a strike on my channel for nonsense.
That's wild.
What was the nonsense?
Bro, this is actually very funny right off the bat. They're calling him so hard instantaneously. We gotta love it.
Because what did you say? What was the Kobe misinformation?
The Kobe, I don't even know. They didn't tell me, and I didn't know about that policy. So, I can't see your camera. But
I don't have my camera.
I don't know exactly what I said, but that's a bunch of horse shit. And like, Destiny, it's nice to see you again. But isn't that enough for you to be like, okay, clearly we shouldn't trust the government. Clearly we shouldn't trust the programming. If you talk against it, they give you a warning for misinformation.
Right. I think it depends on what you say, but I think it's a valid criticism.
It doesn't depend on what you say.
And it does. But you know what? Right?
Yeah, I wonder what he said, because like I can understand why they would go and get rid of that. You know? I mean, it depends on what it is. If you're saying that like the vaccine will never work and it was all a government conspiracy to control you, I can see why they'd give you a strike on that. You know what I mean? And that's kind of within the realm of what SNEAKO talks about.
Right now, I think Destiny watched some of your clips. He had some disagreements. I don't know what those disagreements are, so I'm gonna be the middleman, and I'll let you guys kind of. So, Destiny, what were some of the disagreements that you had with some things that SNEAKO said?
Well, first of all, how are we doing tonight, guys? How's everybody doing?
Fantastic.
Hey, I'm feeling good. I started a new channel called SNEAKO Unplugged for my backup, and then I saw that shit, and I'm like, bro, we back up. I was panicking last night, man. I was all sad. I wasn't able to stream. I had momentum going crazy, and then to see that was just like so disappointing. But like to see that, after reviewing your content, you are back on. It's just like, feels great.
Yeah, fuck the establishment. So yes.
Well, I really don't want SNEAKO to go away, because he's very entertaining. I got to be honest with you. Like, let's be real. He's a very entertaining individual. It's like when you're watching like a kids show, and like every episode you have like the evil person every episode, and like they try to defeat people. What ends up happening is they end up getting, like, they lose at the end of the day. That's like SNEAKO. Like, every time I watch him have a conversation, it's always like kind of a big L for him. It's entertaining to watch, bro. You know? It's just entertaining. I got to get that entertainment in.
Destiny trusts the establishment, so love the establishment. Establishment's good.
Okay, all right. So, Destiny, what was the first point you wanted to raise? Because we don't want to just do a bunch of niceties, so go for it.
Everything. My problem is everything, okay? SNEAKO.
Yeah, what's up?
First of all, mad props to talking to people who disagree with you. That's really cool. Last chat was fun. I want to be...
It made me think a lot. That debate, I would say, like, you had better points than me, and you
that's good. That's all right. I got the man. He's talking in my ear. Listen, I don't care. That last debate, that was over the autistic shit, okay? We're done with that. Now, we're getting spiritual, okay? You ready?
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
What is your goal when you're talking to, I guess, young men in your audience? What are you trying to get across?
Oh, wow. This is going to start like really... Destiny sat down and really thought about this. This is going to be very interesting.
You want them to feel?
Wake them up. I want them to realize that they're trying to stifle masculinity. They want to... Freedom of speech is dead, and all the programming going on, all the woke movement, all this bullshit. Even right now in the email I'm reading, like, we want YouTube to be a safe place for all. YouTube used to be fun. YouTube used to be wild. It's the internet.
It's true. It did used to be fun and wild, and then... people started to, then people wanted to make money, and now advertisers obviously aren't going to gravitate towards like crazy shit. And you could argue that like it's a slippery slope. I don't think that's an unreasonable like potential argument to make. But I personally haven't seen an area. Well, there is one area, for whatever reason, Bull Blacks is getting targeted for no reason on his stuff that he's getting taken down. So there's your slippery slope. Okay, there's your slippery slope right there. But outside of that, I don't think, like, I can understand the COVID misinformation thing. I do get it. So
it shouldn't. Why are we relying on YouTube to like be the teacher pet, like to moderate and like tell us what's right and wrong, to decide misinformation and correct information? It's nonsense.
Well, so YouTube isn't the one that's making those decisions, right? So like YouTube, for the most part, is just listening to like scientists when it comes to different misinformation, and they're just enforcing it from that capacity. It's not like this whole thing where like YouTube is independently verifying their situation. It's just that they're listening to like scientists. When we're talking like with COVID, right? So like, it could be different in other capacities, but that's usually what they're doing. And I'm getting my ass beat. That's really what they're listening to there.
That already should be a red flag to men to be like, okay, if they're telling me immediately, I've always said this on my stream, if they hide it, then it's the truth. If they have to delete it,
Maybe.
then it's the truth.
Okay.
Like if they
So I can see why people feel that way. I can. And it does make people a little bit skeptical. It does make people feel a little bit skeptical when they do hide stuff. So I can understand why people would feel that way in some capacity, but that doesn't necessarily make it true. Dude, I'm getting my ass stuffed right now. Holy fuck.
They give me a warning for Coco misinformation, that shit is true.
Okay, let's talk about your brain for a second, okay? How do you know if what you know is right or wrong? How do you audit your thoughts? What happens if you believe something that's not true? How do you figure that out?
I talk to people.
Nope, that's not good enough. That's not good enough, because you could talk to people that reaffirm whatever you believe. You might have that friend group that just reaffirms everything you believe.
I talk to all different types of people. I talk to you.
Yeah, but like when he talks to Destiny, he gets steamrolled on everything. Every time he talks, he's kind of just always wrong about a lot of stuff. So like, yeah, how do you know when you're right and wrong? You won't listen to anybody like outside of like the way that you think and feel. I'm literally gonna lose this. This is horrible.
We don't agree.
Did you change your mind about anything we talked about last time?
He even admitted that he came in with like better talking points, and he's still like, yeah, and he still hasn't changed, right? So very clearly, it doesn't really work, right?
So that ain't it. So tell me, how do you audit your thoughts? How do you audit your thoughts? You have an idea.
Hold on, Destiny. Let him finish his thought.
Yeah, you asked me a question. I need to have more facts to back up my points. I need to have more like concrete evidence to bring forward in a debate. I can't just go based off of like this.
Let's say that you don't run into anybody that challenges you on a thought, right? What do you do? How do you know?
I do.
You can't run into somebody that challenges every single thought you have about everything.
I do. That's why I stream. That's like there's a chat that right here all day long. If you're like all online, people.
Yeah, but nothing has changed his mind, so we already kind of know this is irrelevant. And anytime you bring in information to him that is correct, he'll just say like, if it doesn't agree with me, then it's just it's a conspiracy. And what's really unfortunate, I think that people should understand, is I watched this conversation with Nick Fuentes, and SNEAKO, if you say like, here's all this objective COVID information, he'll say that that's not true. But for real, Nick Fuentes said that like black and Hispanic people are biologically dumber than white people, and that's what he said. He said it directly to SNEAKO and says, I have information. You don't have any facts on that because it's an objective falsehood, right? The overwhelming majority of like their individuals do have differences in their like brain power overall. But like if you raise somebody the exact same way, you're going to basically see the exact same result for the most part, right? And he said it was a biological. He said it was a biological thing. It had nothing to do with environments. And SNEAKO's like, oh, okay, well, show me some facts. He was angry about it, but he's like, oh, well, you have to show me some information about that. And it's interesting that he's more willing to accept false information from somebody that he had a nice conversation with than true information that's with somebody that he had a bad conversation with. It was weird to see that he's more respectful to somebody that is like diminishing of the existence of other people like that. It's a really big red flag, dude.
Check me constantly.
How do you know? Okay, let's say that is the case. How do you know who's right?
You never really know, I guess. No.
So that's your world. That's what you're selling to people. You can't know if you're right. You have no idea.
I guess so. Yeah, it's interesting.
Based on your logic, yeah, but I think
no, this ain't my logic. I can answer every time I ask you a question, I'll tell you my answer. Okay, because that's not my logic. I'm asking you.
What's your point? That there is no there.
I don't have a point at all. I'm asking you because I hear you say a lot of shit. I know where a lot of it comes from because I've heard it from other areas of the internet. And I always hear these same types of things. I don't want to be a sheep. I woke up to the truth. I figured out reality. But the reality is that you went from a sheep from herd A and now you're just a sheep in herd B. And I'm trying to get you to figure out how can you know if you're being. I'm trying to get you to hold on. I'm trying to get you to figure out how to know if you're a sheep or not. That's what my question is to you.
Your camera's frozen on Discord, by the way.
Me? My camera's not frozen. It might be laggy on your end, but I'm fine.
Okay. So just to be clear, Destiny, you feel like you went from sheep on one end. What is the sheep he's in now? What is he sheep to now?
The red pill sheep. That's a big sheep. It's a big game. It's a ploy, and it's a not only is it a ploy. It is leading you exactly to where you're trying to lead people.
Oh, I was getting a little.
So who's controlling me? You believe in the government. You believe in booster shots and all that nonsense. Who am I listening to?
I never said I believe in the government, but it sounds like you're listening
You
to.
do.
It sounds
you said
like
you trust the government. You said you trust the government.
I said I trust the process, but it sounds like you're listening to people on
process of the
TikTok,
government.
like Andrew Tate. You're listening to whatever alternate.
I don't even go. I don't have the app TikTok.
Come on. I mean, I know he has like 50. I know he's on TikTok. I know he has his own clips channel, and I know he has other people doing a clips channel for him. But he's listening to this information one way or the other. He knows who Andrew Tate is. He thinks he's top G. So like, you come on, you know that you're getting information from him. You literally copy his strategy, right? What's the Andrew Tate? I need this dog. Come here. What's the Andrew Tate strategy? Like, okay, Andrew Tate talks about how he incentivizes people to make clips for him, et cetera, et cetera. And SNEAKO actively and openly, and I heard say, yeah, and I saw this in the Nick Fuentes conversation, tells, he's like, Nick, you should really get on like this TikTok train, get your stuff out there. It's helped me like considerably. And it's like, okay, like you're playing the clips game, which is fine, but like you're doing, it seems like he's like, get a bunch of people. What he said is you should get a bunch of people to make clips for you on TikTok on different accounts. You're doing the same. You're literally copying. You're carbon copying Andrew Tate. So what are you talking about? You know what he's talking about here. Come on.
You've never heard of what?
I don't.
Let me just bring it back because I think you guys were onto something before and then we're going on something else. So you want us to understand how SNEAKO's brain works in regards to how he comes to his conclusion, how he went from one point to the next, right? How we went from whatever gets him to his thought process. So let's just go back to that and then we'll move on to why we think what we think. So bring that question back, Desi. Can you bring that back?
Yeah, I want to know how you audit your thoughts. How do you know that you're not just following somebody blindly into some dumb shit?
Because I don't follow anybody blindly. I don't listen to anybody. There's nobody telling me to say anything. I don't.
That's not true. I was like, he listens a lot to his friend Luke, and that's fine. But like, just so you know, like he listens to people, right? He's much more charitable to listen to some people over others. Absolutely. So that's just a falsehood.
Trust.
Okay, then we'll do.
Than me. I don't follow anything.
Okay, we'll do a concrete example then. With concrete example then, when it comes to wearing masks, how do you know if that's a good idea or not?
Because if people more powerful than me are telling me to do it, I instantly don't believe them.
That's not an answer. So listen, just I think from a commonsensical perspective, wearing a mask is going to like generally keep you safer from other people like breathing on you and whatnot. Like we all know this to be like an objective truth, right? We already know that. So that's first and foremost. However, you can be skeptical of them saying, well, this is how beneficial a mask is. That's fine. But it's like, what is it like? So then you'd have to really question like the COVID in general. You'd have to be like, well, I just don't think a mask is worth COVID. But COVID was pretty bad. I mean, I don't know. I think it's one of those things where I saw it so much around me that I'm more open to believing it. Maybe if I wasn't online during COVID. I was getting online during COVID, right? I worked in like I worked at a bus company. I was actually in charge of like the cleaning management. I saw like a lot of people around us had passed away. It was crazy. I had like family that passed away. Like, I guess I experienced it more, and maybe that's why I'm more open to believing its existence. I don't really know, but that's my experience with it. So maybe that's part of the problem. It seems like a lot of these guys who are COVID like deniers didn't really work like an actual like, blue collar job. They didn't actually work and see like, oh fuck. And then there are some people who did work a blue collar job and they were like, man, I'm tired of being locked down, which I totally get that. But I think most people accept that it's like real. I have a lot of conservatives in my household, and not my household because I live with my wife, but in my family, and they're like, yeah, we get it. Like nobody likes wearing a fucking mask. Like I don't like wearing a mask, or I don't anymore. I don't have to, but like I still did it because it's like one of those things where sometimes you have to just do things you don't want to do. But
okay, do you understand that just makes you a sheep of the other herd, right?
Of what herd?
I'm telling you, if there is a shepherd and he says all the sheep go left, you can either choose your own path or you can go right because he told you to go left. You understand? You're being just as controlled, right?
So who's controlling me?
The people that you don't like. When you do the opposite of what they say, they have just as much control over you as they do the other people.
Because my whole life I've not been wearing a mask. So
how do you determine?
Well, yeah, but we never really needed to in our whole life, and now we do. What the fuck is he talking about? Oh man, SNEAKO's a character.
Well, I'm asking you a question. How do you determine?
That's not following anybody.
You are. I'm asking you a question. How do you determine whether or not you should wear a mask?
Because I like breathing. I don't want to cover my face. I like to talk and I like to hear.
You can breathe with a mask on. You don't have. Do you see? Hold
worse.
on. Yeah, okay,
worse.
So it's not
and
worse.
It's annoying and it makes me sweat and it's uncomfortable.
Well, that's true, but that's like kind of childish, right? Like I don't like wearing the mask either because of those same things. It's annoying. It can be more difficult to breathe. I sweat more as well. Absolutely. But it's like, yeah, but I need you to wear the mask because of like a viral virus, right? Something. It's like, okay, I get it. That's it. It seems like it's more about, for SNEAKO, about the way he feels about something rather than doing something because it's like the right thing to do.
So I'm not going to put on something that makes me uncomfortable, and that's unnecessary to me.
Hey, that's what women have been saying for how long? Free the nip, am I right, guys? You know what I mean, guys? Free the nipple. Free the nipple.
Didn't wear it, and I'm fine.
Okay.
So look at where we are.
Okay. So let me.
You got the V word. You're still this. I didn't. I'm the same.
Okay.
We got a vaccine. They're not going to shut you down for saying stuff like that. If you didn't get vaccinated, they're not going to cry about that. I was saying it all the time when I wasn't vaccinated. Now I am because my wife had to get it for work, and I got it like in January or December or whatever. But like, you're not going to get banned for saying you're not vaccinated. Like, this is kind of like a victim mentality type of a thing.
Okay, so
like, I'm going to get banned for just merely suggesting I might get vaccinated. I'm not vaccinated. I'm going to be banned. No, you're not. That's not misinformation. If I said like I didn't get the vaccine for a while because I was like I was a little skeptical of it, and I would have preferred to like social distance, whatever, and wear a mask and like carry hand sanitizer and be safe. Like, they're not going to give me anything for that. If I started pushing around like a misinformation about it, then they will.
let's back up a little bit, right? So the correct answer was, I decide whether or not to wear a mask based on the data I've read, the studies I've gone over, the articles I've read. That's the right answer. I've seen enough information to point me one way or another. Everything else that you're saying is a cope. You can't breathe. Are you oxygen retarded? What do you mean you can't breathe?
Jesus Christ.
The mask on. Motherfuckers are out here running marathons with 3 of them on. Like, how is it possible that you can't breathe with the mask on, right? You got people that are doing shifts for 20 hours. No, let me finish. Okay, it's uncomfortable. Seatbelts are uncomfortable. Okay, going to the doctor is uncomfortable. Okay, there's a lot of things in life that are uncomfortable. That's not a reason not to do it. That's not a reason for a man not. Hold on. Whoa, let me finish. Let me finish. You can't be going. Hold on. Yeah, hold on. Yeah, chill. Okay, yeah. When you interrupt me, it's because you know I'm right. Okay, you're trying to cut me off because you know that I'm taking you somewhere that you don't want to go. Okay, we're gonna go to those places today.
You're a little heated right now.
I'm not heated. No, I'm not heated. I'm just matching I'm matching your energy. Okay.
Bro, this stuff is so annoying because like this is what happens in like the Death Noodles conversation that I have. It's like Destiny is he's not heated. He's being like assertive. He's just being blunt. He's holding his own. And he had a conversation with SNEAKO before. So now he knows this is kind of how he has to interact. And it's like, oh, you're heated. It's not heated. This is just how sometimes you have to, when you have conversations with people, sometimes you have to like check them a little bit. Both ways. Like you can be assertive without being like angry. And you could still be logically driven and like solid. He's not heated. He's just being like, dude, this is one of those things where like, I feel like a lot of people treat SNEAKO like a baby, I think it's interesting how condescending it is. Really, like every time anybody talks to SNEAKO, they're very, very easy on him. Every time they're like, "Oh man, come on!" Like they're just kind of like trying to be like, "Come on, man, you don't really, come on, man." That's how it's always been. And the second that somebody matches the energy, now we're like, "Well, you're angry." It's like, dude, come on, really? Do you think so? Seems a little sussy. Okay.
A man want to wear a mask. Go ahead, bro.
A man that interrupts another man is a man who's scared about where he's being led. Okay, explore with me. Okay, if you want to wear a mask or not, that should be something that you arrive at through your own independent thought process, not because somebody else tells you not to. Okay, that's what a 16-year-old does. I think you can do better than that.
That's fair.
Well, the government's telling you to wear it, so you're echoing and doing what they're telling you to do.
I'm not doing it because the government tells me to do it. I can do it because there are independent schools all over the world that do research on whether or not wearing a mask helps.
Yeah,
that's what I can look to for my information.
They're also telling you to wear it.
I don't care what the government. I'm not a sheep, so I'm not looking at what the government says to figure.
The government says. I thought you trust them. I trust the process.
I trust the process of some of the things involved with the government, but that doesn't mean that I do it just because they say to do it. There are things the government could tell me to do that I would disagree with. That's possible. Government could say some shit, and I look into the data on my own. And I go, you know what? I actually don't agree with this. I'm not going to do that. Sometimes I go 75 and a 65 on the interstate. I break the rules sometimes.
Okay, but look, I don't wear it and you wear it. Why are we both fine?
For a variety of reasons. What do you mean?
Come on. Like, well, one thing, SNEAKO's young. Okay, so wearing a mask is not just about you. It's about a lot of other people as well, right? So SNEAKO is fine because he probably didn't really have to do anything. He was a guy who already had a lot of money. He worked online. You don't really need to do a lot of these things. That's just kind of the reality. is you weren't really exposed to the general public or the general population. It's also almost guaranteed that if SNEAKO left his house, he would have put a mask on, because every supermarket during the height of the spread and every place was like, you need to wear a mask. So he either had somebody else buy his groceries for them that would be required to wear the mask, or he just, like, I don't know, pea-potted it or something. That's a Stop and Shop thing, right? So you were wearing the mask, you just weren't always wearing the mask. And you're talking about how you don't like to wear the mask, but again, you had to wear it to go into like a supermarket, so you were wearing it. But he's also younger. He probably, even if he got exposed to it, he'd probably be perfectly fine. It's not just about you. We live in a society of like 330 million people. You don't always do everything in society for yourself, right? That's realistic. You don't always do everything just for you, right? Or else you'd be able to murder, right? Because it doesn't, they don't. Well, I guess not, because you might get murdered. But you get my point. Not everything is like when you get vaccinations for things, you're not just doing it for yourself. You're doing it so that you stop the spread in general. We're not even talking about COVID. We're just talking about like school. That's it. Right? For the most part, it's like people who are older, people who are at risk. I guess fat people too. You might be like, well, people shouldn't be fat. You're right, but I don't know what to tell you. People are fat. Like, if so, your argument's like, I shouldn't have to wear a mask or get vaccinated. Neither should anybody else, because I'm not the one that'll get harmed. But it's like, yeah, but like, how many fat people are driving trucks for your infrastructure? How many fat people are working at stores or contributing to the economy? We can advocate against these things by having like better programs and whatnot, and like probably getting our FDA up to speed so that they don't. Because my understanding is like McDonald's in fucking England is so much more healthy than here. This is my understanding. But it's still, that's the whole point of it.
There are people that go their whole lives drunk driving every single night, every single weekend, and they're fine. Does that make drunk driving a good idea? Is that how you evaluate?
That's why I don't wear it.
Is that,
I don't need to. It makes me uncomfortable. It makes my face weird. It just makes me sweaty and stuff like that. It makes my glasses fog up. I don't like it. I feel like a dumb.
I mean, listen, not for nothing, but that's your problem. Like, I think that you need to learn how to wear a mask the proper way, because my glasses don't fog up, and I've learned how to do it. You just have to really tuck your mask under your glasses. That's it. Okay. All right, that's a you problem. Learn to wear the mask correctly, because I do not have that issue with my, and I'm, all right, and I'm fat as fuck. Okay.
Dumb bot.
That's great.
It's stupid.
And it's cheaper to, and it's cheaper.
It makes no sense. Most of the places you wear a mask, like you go into a restaurant and you're wearing it, then you sit down, take it off. You're sitting on a plane, everyone has to wear it, and then we all eat at the same time, breathing all over your food. It makes no sense. There's no consistency with it. It's just a sign.
Breathing all over your food. Wait, what? Hold on.
You sit down, take it off. Most of the places you wear a mask, like you go into a restaurant and you're wearing it, then you sit down, take it off. You're sitting on a plane, everyone has to wear it, and then.
Well, yeah. Well, when you're sitting, that makes sense to me, doesn't it? Hey, guys, you can't eat with a mask on. So this is what we call like a concession. Ideally, nobody should ever go out during COVID because you don't want to do the spread. You want to prevent the spread. That makes sense. But of course, people are people. So it's like, yeah, you know what? You can go out. You have to wear it when you're walking around. But when you're in your isolated space, you have to put you can take the mask off, because you're going to sit down and eat. It would make no sense to leave it on and like what? Like you're having barbecue like ribs and you're just like dripping, you know what I mean? But the waitress has to wear it because she's walking around, or the wait staff has to wear it because they're walking around. It makes sense. It's just a smile. It's like it's a little bit of a concession. Like I don't know what you're talking about.
And we all eat at the same time, breathing all over your food. Like it makes no sense. There's no consistency with it. It's just a sign of compliance.
Not a sign.
Can I ask one question? Can I just ask one question?
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity, if Destiny's basically raising the point that this is good for our safety, this and that, and you're saying it's an inconvenience, I don't want to do it. Can you acknowledge that people wanting to do it for their safety is not unreasonable or bad?
That's fair.
Or do you say it doesn't? It's not a safety thing. It doesn't actually help you.
I don't think it really helps. No, a cloth thing, like it's meant to show other people like, I'm a good person. I'm doing what they're telling me to do.
I don't think anybody thinks that. Everybody thinks it's so annoying to wear a mask. Nobody's like, oh man, I'm a good person. It's just doing it because like, I get it. It helps stop like the spread. That's it. I mean, you're literally covering your mouth and like restricting the ability for your breath to go all over the place. Like that makes perfect logical sense to me as to why, you know, you should wear a mask.
And morally
when you're standing outside and you have to sneeze, do you sneeze into the open air or do you put something over your face?
I sneeze into my arm.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Why?
so I don't get snot on other people.
Sure, there's shit that comes out of your mouth all the time when you're breathing, when you're talking. You can look at videos of people that are breathing or that are even that are talking, and you can see the air coming out of their mouth. If you ever looked at a video of this in your life, why do you think
Like
wearing
when
a
it's cold
cloth
out.
mask? Tell me this: how does wearing a cloth mask over your face make it hard to breathe because it doesn't let oxygen in or out? But you're saying it wouldn't block anything else coming out of your mouth, molecules that are way larger.
Literally a cloth over your mouth and nose. It makes it harder to breathe.
Okay, if it's harder to breathe, you understand that oxygen, carbon dioxide are orders of magnitude smaller than like viruses and bacteria and other molecules coming out of your mouth,
Let's
right?
argue about spiritual stuff.
Damn, he instantly pivoted when Destiny was giving him some shit. All he was saying is like, if it makes it difficult to breathe and oxygen is smaller than like the virus molecules, that means that logically you're admitting that it reduces the flow of this into the air. And he instantly goes, "Oh, I thought we were going to talk about something else." Bro, wow. That was the most telling part of this entire debate, dude. Holy moly. Wow, that was the biggest own, dude. Yeah, he said spiritual because Destiny's like, I want to push him on a spiritual ideology. The pivot was so hard. What a self-report. Holy moly.
Hold on. We'll get to the spiritual stuff. I'm just trying to show you that you have a really strong opinion about something that you are sheep on. The government said one thing and you said, fuck you, government. I'm going to do the opposite.
Okay, hypothetical.
Who's controlling me then, Destiny? Who am I sheep?
I don't know who you watch on YouTube. I can't tell. I can't tell who you're watching on YouTube. I don't know. But I'm telling you, I don't
call me a sheep. If you can't tell me who I'm
so
following, then I'm not a sheep.
Well, no. You know how I don't have to know who you're following to tell if you're a sheep. I just have to know your thought process. If somebody comes in and they tell me, I think the number 7 is the best number in the world, and I go, why? And you're like, some guy said that 7 sucked, and I like 7. I already know that, dude. He heard it from somebody else. Because if you really liked a thing, if you were really into a thing, and if you really felt strongly about a thing, when I ask you about it, why the fuck don't you wear a mask, right? You'd have some shit like, I don't know, the New England Journal of Medicine, they did a study on it. N equals 500 didn't fucking help. I've known 100 fucking different doctors. They don't wear that shit. It didn't help. That would be your answer. But you don't have an answer because in your mind, you heard it from somebody that gave you an answer that you liked that the government didn't give you. And that's why you jumped on it. That's a sheep answer. It is.
But you're not telling me who I'm a sheep to.
I don't know who you're a sheep to. That's not my job. I'm not your dad. I'm not here to figure out who you're a sheep to. I'm just here to figure out if you're a sheep or not. That's all I'm trying to figure out.
Let me ask you a question. Hold on. Can I ask a question?
Wow, he's pushing SNEAKO hard, man. Damn. I hope it gets through to him.
I have to admit that makes no sense if you can't tell me who I'm a sheep to.
It makes perfect sense. I don't know how to explain it to you. I can't tell you who's leading you around. I can just tell if you have a leash on. That's all I can say.
Okay. Let me ask a question. Let me ask a question. SNEAKO, if the government came out tomorrow and said, everybody stop wearing your masks, are you going to do what the government says?
I was already not wearing it. I just would rather breathe without restriction.
So my question is, earlier you said that if the government's telling you to do something, you're not going to do it because it's probably bad.
Yeah, if it makes me uncomfortable, if it's making my breathing worse and the government's telling me to do it, I'm not going to listen to them.
Okay, so the issue is not that the government necessarily told you. The issue is that it makes you uncomfortable.
It's dumb.
Okay.
So it sounds like the moral center for SNEAKO is how he feels. This is pretty much the biggest this is like the most relevant thing. Is like, I feel a certain way. So this is how the world should operate. It's completely emotionally specific. Like, he doesn't care about actual facts. He cares about the way that he feels. And then he'll try to find facts that align with the way that he feels. And then if he can't and the facts go against the way that he feels, he'll say, it's just a conspiracy. Like, that's how SNEAKO works. Like, he's literally he's completely emotionally driven. And he thinks that he's correct. And it's so interesting because I've seen, like, SNEAKO will say that women are too emotional. And yet and too emotional, they feel too much, and yet his entire ideology is centered around, this is how I feel. And it just kind of seems like a massive level of cognitive dissonance.
So if the government came out tomorrow and said, everybody stop wearing your mask, you don't need the mask, we won't be good, you're gonna listen to what they say because it doesn't make you uncomfortable.
Well, okay? I was already not wearing it.
Okay. All right. Just wanted to clarify.
Okay, so circling back then for the final time, and then we'll get spiritual. I'll circle back a final time. If somebody tells you a thing, and you talk to 3 or 4 people, and they all tell you the same thing, you don't have any way to know if you're being lied to or not, or if you're caught in a bubble of people that all believe the same shit. You don't have a way to check your thoughts to see, like, do I really believe this thing or not? Is it really a good idea? Is it like, do I actually understand what's going on? And then
I'm not in a bubble.
Okay.
I'm very clearly not in a bubble. I'm here talking to you right now.
Gotcha. Okay.
I debate people on a regular basis who disagree with me.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, he just doesn't listen. So that's really the argument there.
here are two things that I do, and then
What am I supposed to do?
your audience can take it or leave it. You can take it or leave it, whatever. Okay. The first question, the most important question is, what would it take to change your mind? That is the number one most important question. If you don't know what it would take to change your mind on any topic, then you're a sheep. What would it take to change your mind about masks?
If I got really sick, if I was dumb walking around, if I was sick right now, if I died, if I was like in the hospital because I had respiratory problems and all this nonsense, but all these people who got the V word are still like Biden.
So that's it. Whether or not you get sick, whether or not you get sick is the only determining factor. But you just said yourself, people that wear masks get sick. So you could get sick too without wearing a mask, right? That's not even a good answer. I'll tell you the second thing, okay? You can think about that one. The second thing is you should look for information that is contrary to what you believe. Don't just ask people, because if you ask people, what?
I'm talking to you right now.
Sure, that's
Yeah, but the problem is that if he finds that information that disagrees with him, he just says it's a conspiracy. Like, he doesn't actually live in the real world.
true. That's true. Okay, those are the two things that I would say. Okay, so moving past this topic,
Don't try to like say that I'm in a bubble, because
You
Destiny,
are.
very clearly I'm not in a bubble.
He is absolutely in a bubble. He talks to people outside. Well, you know what? He doesn't. You know what? SNEAKO doesn't really talk to people outside of his bubble. I'm gonna explain to you how. Because here's the thing, right? I've watched a lot of SNEAKO conversations, very entertaining. I want to tell you, every single time, it's somebody that's within, like, the same online sphere. The only reason he's talking to Destiny is because Destiny is, like, a very intelligent person and has just general pull, and he's also an extension of ABBA. The only reason he talked to me is because I was talking to Gideon. I was like, Gideon, I want to get in on this conversation. Outside of that, he doesn't talk to anybody else he disagrees with other than people that are inside of his sphere. And then when you bring like objective truth to it, he just goes, no, not true. So like you're existing there, but you're basically putting on your own mask and just like, I deny all objective truth. So he actually does sit in a bubble. It's within the same sphere. They disagree with him, but it's still generally a bubble. And he'll just say no to everything. What is up with this stuff?
Well, the thing is, because of the world you've built for yourself ideologically, everything that I tell you, you can safely ignore. You wrapped yourself in this blanket where you're like, he's just
stuff that everybody else says.
Yeah, I know. See, look at how easy. Do you see how easy? Do you see how easy your life is? Look, do you see how weak your mind is? Right? He's only saying it because everyone else is saying it. That's why it's wrong. I don't have to listen to him. Right? That's a weak mind.
Well, because I already know what you're about to say. Like, you're just echoing the left, like the government programming stuff. It's like, it's just predictable stuff that everybody hears who's listening to the chat has heard a billion times.
Yeah, but that's the same thing with SNEAKO, like the red pill shit. So.
Well,
Yeah, but do you understand the problem? It's
you tell about the mask, like what you're saying is predictable.
Yeah, it's predictable, and you don't even have an answer to it. So what does that say about you? That says more about you than it does about me.
Everything you said.
Your answer is that it makes it hard for me to breathe because it makes it so oxygen and carbon dioxide can't pass through effectively, but it doesn't block larger molecules like bacteria and viruses. You understand that makes no sense. It's one or the other. You can't do both.
Okay,
if it's so restricted that you can't breathe, then it must block a lot of shit coming out of your mouth and nose.
True.
Okay, well, that's my answer. It makes me uncomfortable, and it makes me sweat weird, and it fogs up my glasses, and it's just dumb.
Seatbelts do too. Do you wear a seatbelt when you drive, or do you not give a fuck with it?
I have this thing where you could put a seatbelt like thing you could buy on Amazon. This is like advice for the chat. You can get like a seatbelt thing on Amazon that clicks in, and then it gets rid of the beeping sound.
Okay, so you don't wear seatbelts either. Do you think seatbelts make you safer when you drive?
There's some circumstances where a seatbelt actually restricts you and traps you inside the car. You can see accidents.
There are some circumstances.
Some circumstances. That means that's an edge case. The overwhelming majority of the time, it's helpful. So
Circumstances where somebody could
collision.
Yeah.
You get mad interrupting and now you're
Yeah, there are circumstances where.
Hold on. Destiny, let him finish.
Yeah, go ahead.
You can get into a collision, and if you have a seatbelt on, then you can get trapped in the car, and the car can catch on fire. But sometimes, if you're not wearing a seatbelt, there's instances where people have like literally like flown out the windshield because they weren't wearing a seatbelt and they survived. But a seatbelt could trap you in there.
What do you think is more common? Do you understand statistics or probability?
Bro, this question's dumb as shit.
I don't know
I'm just supposed to sit here and wait.
It's uncomfortable, and it's just.
Do you lock your car? Do you lock your car at night?
I think I'll be fine.
I'm not asking if you're fine. I'm asking you to use your brain. Do you lock your car at night?
Yeah.
Why? You're not guaranteed to get robbed. In fact, probably most likely you won't.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, but it takes 1 second. It doesn't make me uncomfortable to lock my car. Wearing a seatbelt makes me uncomfortable.
So if something is you're here trying to preach to the masses how to be a successful man, how to be a masculine man, how to have integrity, how to be a good, upstanding person in the world, and you're telling me you won't wear a seatbelt because it makes you uncomfortable. That's your bar for acts and good behavior.
So like, what's the argument against working a difficult job? Hey, why won't you do like, hey guys, you want like this is the thing, you want to be successful, you're gonna have to get uncomfortable. You want to make a lot of money, like go do HVAC. Gives you a lot of money, but it's gonna be uncomfortable. This entire argument really boils down to I'm kind of just too lazy to do things I don't want to do. It's a very privileged ideology. Like, you have to do uncomfortable things. This is what annoying children will say. I don't want to do something because it's uncomfortable. I don't like this. I don't like that. Like, okay. But it's like ridiculous.
I see a cop, then I'll put it on. But other than that, like if I'm going really fast, then I'll buckle up. But if I'm just like doing 20,
hold on, I'm not asking. Tell me,
I don't need
yeah,
a
seatbelt. You put the seatbelt on for a cop? Really? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. In 15 minutes, I have 2 friends that want to join this. Abba, is that okay?
Who are they?
Fucking Brittany Venti and Lord Southern in like 15 minutes if you want.
They want to join this conversation?
Yeah.
I mean, hey, SNEAKO, that's up to you.
Oh, it's up to SNEAKO.
Is it like more white people who agree with what you're saying?
No, unfortunately.
Half black.
Bro, can I just explain to you like this whole SNEAKO race card thing? Right? Because I understand that like you're gonna have different experiences based on like the color of your skin and where you grow up, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I find it really interesting that SNEAKO will try to dismiss what you're saying because you're white, but then in a conversation with Nick Fuentes goes, you know what? I think that I have a privilege for not being white. Because people can't just instantly go, oh, I'm racist. So it's like weird. How do you have this ideology where sometimes being white is a bad thing and sometimes it's being like a good thing? Oh, you're white. I don't have to listen to you. Oh, you're white. I actually have a privilege. It's like where's the consistency? Where's the consistency in SNEAKO's arguments ever? How are you going to dismiss somebody like Destiny for being white? But when it comes to a fucking literal white nationalist who thinks that you are inferior because of your race, you're going to be so charitable and nice to them. That's insane. That's insane. It's insane, dude. That's nuts. How do you feel that way? I don't get it.
And then one of them is like a blonde girl.
They're both hyper.
She hates white people though.
Yeah, they're hyper conservative. Yeah, they would probably agree with you.
Yeah.
But it's up to you. I'll let you decide in like 5.
Trust me, SNEAKO. I wouldn't say this. If I thought they would be on Destiny's side, I wouldn't let them in.
Fuck you.
I really don't care. But Abba, what do you think? Were you also, Abba, we talked on your stream, and Destiny, do you hear about this? New York and LA is in a state of emergency right now because of the monkey.
Okay.
Yeah, because of monkeypox.
What does that sound exactly like?
Well, what it sounds exactly like is that New York and LA are probably the 2 most densely populated areas in the United States because there's a lot of people that live there, and densely populated areas, they tend to get more like diseases and viruses because people are living within proximity of each other, very close proximity of each other. So it sounds like if it's going to start, that's where it's going to start, especially considering New York is like a center for trade in the United States. So you would expect to see this type of thing blow up in those particular areas. That's what it sounds like. I know that what he wants Disney to say is it sounds like this is a manufactured thing. And, they're doing it again, but the government doesn't benefit from you not being able to go and work. It provides less economic boom when you don't work. So why would the government manufacture this thing? It doesn't even make sense.
I think.
Hold on, wait. Let's go back, okay? We're not gonna do the jump into 50 million topics, okay? Let's back up for a second, okay? When you're talking to people on your platform, okay, and I hear you talk, so I hear this to Abba, I hear things from Andrew Tate as well, a lot like this, okay? I hear you guys talk about what it means to be successful, what it means to achieve, what it means to accomplish things, and all I ever hear you guys talk about are cars, mansions, 30 hoes. Why?
Word. Because that's dope. That's.
Do you understand that when you talk about like a spiritual void, do you think that a spiritual void exists today in the Western world?
Yeah, I believe in God.
Okay, when you talk about those things, those are the exact types of journeys that lead you to the spiritual void. Are people pursuing Bugattis, mansions, and bitches? It is the most empty, hollow life imaginable.
That's not the end goal, but that's just something I want.
It's no. Hold on.
It's not what's gonna make me be all end all happy. Like I want to have a wholesome life. I want to have kids. I want to have a good family. I want to just have a well-rounded, enjoyable life. And I don't think that's possible. Like for the life I want, I don't think it's possible in the West anymore because people are so brainwashed.
Yeah, but
People
you're
believe anything they're
brainwashing
told.
them, right? You're the one that's brainwashing them in that direction.
How am I brainwashing them?
Because you're telling them that they need Bugattis, mansions, and bitches to be happy.
I'm not I'm saying I want to get that and I'm gonna get it. And a lot of guys, like I have a mostly male audience, they all want that too. And
Yeah, but that is the emotional void, right? I mean, that is the spiritual void, is advocating for those things. So how are you going to say that the Western world is shitty? How is it that you're going to say that the Western world lacks spirituality and you want to leave to go to another place, but you are actively contributing to the lack of spirituality? It doesn't make sense. This is the cognitive dissonance that SNEAKO exists in. Like I said before, I feel that's right. That is SNEAKO's entire ideology is I feel, so I am correct. There is nothing consistent logically, morally, or emotionally when it comes to SNEAKO in any capacity.
I know they want that because they play GTA all day.
Sure.
They play these video games all day, and they watch prawn all day.
That's great.
So of course they want 10 bitches in a mansion.
That's fine.
But that's not the end goal, and I'm not telling them they have to do that. Like I have.
Well, yeah, but it is though, because you keep saying that like you were making fun of young Don for being purple pilled. So you actually are. That is the end goal for you.
Luke, all my.
And you even made fun of like Abba for saying I don't like chasing pussy anymore because like I'm older and I have different priorities. And you make fun of everybody else for not wanting to do that thing because you think that is the end goal. You're just talking at this point. And nothing that you're saying makes any sense. Like this is the problem. SNEAKO just started to do the rounds with this like insane ideology, and he's getting destroyed in every sense because people are educating themselves on what SNEAKO is saying and what he's doing.
On my stream all the time too, and he just wants to have one wife. Oh, I'm not saying you have to do anything. I'm not telling people to do anything. I'm just saying my opinion. People don't.
Yes, you are. You're actively advocating for people to do a thing, and you're shaming them if they don't. What are you talking? This is crazy. This is like a weird Alex Jones argument.
Follow me blindly.
What you're doing right now.
Your stream all agree with you. People who watch your stream all like, yes, take another booster. I can't wait for the monkey vaccine.
I feel like the people who listen to Destiny are listening to him probably because he's very like factually based, and Destiny does as much as possible to be as like correct as possible from an objective stance. People who believe SNEAKO are probably a bunch of young, like very young men, probably boys that are very upset that everything didn't fall into place, and they want to fuck girls, and they think everything's based, and girls are stinky, and girls suck. Right? That's mostly the ideology of SNEAKO.
It's just like, you know, you kind of have an echo chamber of people who agree with you.
That's what you
don't
have.
an echo chamber who agree with me. It's flattering you think that. But what you are doing is you are doing to men what was it Nicki Minaj or whoever the fuck you brought up, Kim Kardashian, are doing to women. That's what you're doing. It's the exact
true.
same thing.
I'm
Yep.
pushing self-improvement. I'm saying, guys, we need to go
Self-improve. You don't improve yourself by buying cars, houses, and fucking a lot of women.
You cannot buy a house. You cannot fuck a lot of women without becoming a better man.
No.
I'm telling men we need to go and get it. We need to improve ourselves. We need to focus on ourselves so we can get to that point.
No, you don't have to be. You don't have to be a good man to get a house, a car, or a lot of women. You just have to be rich, or you have to know how to play the game. That's not being a good man.
You have to improve yourself to get rich.
You don't have to improve. You don't have to be. Hold on. You can improve aspects of your business, but you don't have to be. I need you to understand this. You don't have to be a good man to get rich. You don't.
That's the entire foundation for, like, by this logic that SNEAKO thinks that it's good to get rich or whatever. Everybody in the government is good because they're rich, but he hates the government. So then, how are all these people good? But by your logic, they're just playing the game. They're playing the system. They're manipulating the average everyday American, and they're getting rich off of that. But that's okay, even though you say that they're bad because they're rich. Oh, like this is where you're not. You have to think about these things, right? Like making more money is the general goal, but like being a good person is what you should be going for, and making money is like helpful in that endeavor, right? But like, what is being a good person? It's not making a lot of money. It's just being kind to other people, being smart, intelligent, listening to them, etc. Right? That's working on yourself. Being the best version of yourself is trying to find the best job that you can do, make the most money you can, but also respect people around you, have like your own things, etc., etc. That's what it means to be like a moral or virtuous guy. Like if you look at more from a religious perspective, it's like getting married, being faithful, helping your community. These are all religious things. Like this is all like from a religious perspective, a religious ideology. So there's nothing to really do with money.
You don't have to be a good man to get a house and cars. These two things have.
Yeah, you do. If you want to like echo the programming and like be a part of the system, then no, you don't really have to. But if you want to be independent and not listen to anybody, then you need to improve yourself, because we want to get rich by connections. We want to get rich on our phone. We want to get rich based off who we know. We want to add value. To add value and have people trust you and like be able to make sales, you need to be a better man.
How do you get rich on your phone?
Are you kidding me?
Tell me.
Streaming, crypto, dropshipping, e-commerce businesses.
Streaming, crypto, you know what you just described? OnlyFans for men, right? You literally complain to Abba. All these girls, hold on. Let me finish. You literally,
I'll let you respond right after.
Let me finish. You just complain to Abba. All these bitches are getting on OnlyFans trying to sell pics of themselves and do all that shit. Why is that bad? Because they're not working on themselves. They're not doing anything that makes themselves better. And now you're telling guys to download fucking Robinhood or go trade some shitcoin in the hopes that they get fucking rich, or they start streaming, or they hop on TikTok or whatever. What? They're not improving themselves by doing that. You're not becoming. Oh, let me finish. When you don't let me finish, it's because you're scared of what I have to say. Okay, that's the only reason you do that. I understand. I know. That's okay. That's okay.
You're very scared.
When you tell people that they have to pick up their phone and get rich, that's not self-improvement. You're not becoming a better person doing that.
True.
Okay, go ahead, SNEAKO.
So this is what you'd ask SNEAKO. SNEAKO, well, what about the girls who make it rich on OnlyFans? Aren't they improving? No, because they're women, and that's not what a woman's supposed to do. That's what he would likely say of that.
To start a business, you need to be a better person. And comparing an e-commerce business to OnlyFans is just goofy, because you're selling your titties and you're adding nothing to the world. All you're doing is making other people sad and creating a fake relationship that makes people sadder.
Yeah, but like we could argue that if you're somebody who is selling the idea that you can be rich, like is what SNEAKO is doing, that's just making people sadder because they won't be able to attain that. So in the same way that you feel women doing OnlyFans is like hurting men, is the same way that what you're doing is also hurting men, because most people, all you're doing is selling them an idea. If you're doing the Andrew Tate MLM scheme, what you're doing is you're saying you could be rich by giving me money, and if you don't succeed, it's your fault. Well, how are you any more beneficial to them by trying to basically manipulate people into giving you the money? Right? I'm not saying he does a multi-marketing scheme, but I'm saying is like this logic is if it makes some people sad. If it makes people sad, then you shouldn't be able to do it. Then you shouldn't be able to like sell a multi like this fucking like what is it called? The Andrew Tate thing, the fucking the manosphere bullshit, right? Because it makes people sadder. There's no logical consistency here.
It makes the woman sadder because she's just a whore, and it makes the men sadder because they're not going to have an actual relationship. It's just a pretend relationship in their head. It's making people worse. OnlyFans does not add anything to the world besides the dopamine rush for both sides. Starting an e-commerce business.
Same thing with gambling, e-commerce too, because e-commerce is effectively like Bitcoin and shit. That is like gambling to an extent. Let's not pretend that it's not.
Adding value to the world by like sharing value, like that's making the world a better place.
Okay. Me
entertaining people online, if I'm streaming, that's making people laugh and smile. That's making the world better.
Yeah, but it makes me sad, SNEAKO, because you're fucking insane. So.
Money is truth. If I'm sharing truth, that's adding value. How are you going to compare titties to an online e-commerce business?
E-commerce is you're leeching on affiliate links on trying to sell people products that you're not even producing. How is e-commerce adding to the? Let me finish. Damn, dude, I sell merch. I've got affiliate links. I understand how the game works. Okay, I'm not an idiot. I live here. I've done this business for 12 years. E-commerce is not adding to the world. Okay, number one, trading crypto, that's not adding to the world. You're trying to out-speculate fuck some other dude, trying to out-speculate fuck some other dude so that you're not caught bag holding when your fucking coin drops. Okay, crypto and NFT is not adding to the fucking world. 99% of these coins come and go quicker than a fucking girl opens and closes the fucking OnlyFans. Okay.
Well, encouraging people to invest in crypto is good because it takes away the government's stronghold on currency. If we can decentralize currency and we can take the wealth in our own hands, we're adding value. All the people, the government owns the currency that you're obsessed about. I'm telling people invest in crypto so you could take charge of your own money.
You're not taking charge of your own money. You're paying off other people that are going to fucking drop your shit and you're going to lose everything. You're going to get rug pulled and you're going to have a coin that loses 99.8% of value. Like what's happened over and over. Yeah, if you're dumb, like most of the people that are going to be listening to either of us. Most people aren't winners in crypto schemes.
I've fucked up in crypto too. I've lost money too. And you learn.
Yeah, because he's rich. You can make like really dumb risks. This is the thing. It's like one of those things where, okay, like your average person can't just dump money into crypto, lose a couple like $10,000 and go, ah, man, that stunk. You'll lose your life savings. So SNEAKO basically saying like, yeah, you know what? I've been able to fail because I have a lot of money. And then after I learned how to play the system, I can make my money back because I got a couple $100,000 that I can bet. I can just kind of throw away money. That's what he's saying. But the average person can't do that. You can't just make mistakes. You're literally like, you have money, so money makes money. It's really very basic. It's not like this super crazy thing here. And then SNEAKO will be like, I don't have money. I don't have money. Yes, you do. You have a lot of money. I know. With the views I get, I make more money than most people, which doesn't make any sense. So what the views that motherfucker's getting, he's making a lot of money. Oh, well, I have demonetized videos. Me too. It doesn't really matter. You're still fucking making money. I don't know what you're talking about.
Learn from your mistakes.
Here's a question. So do you think most people listening to you, do you think everybody can win in crypto?
Yeah, if you apply yourself.
Okay.
Oh, dude, this guy is like definition of a rich boy. You think everybody can be rich? You think everybody can win in crypto? You know, because if everybody won in crypto, we'd all be rich. We cannot all be rich. This is like some weird fucking communist argument. This is insane.
When you buy crypto and then you sell it at more than you bought it for, how are you making money on it?
Because someone else isn't. But everybody
exactly. So hold on. So if one guy makes 10 times his money, that means for that one dude, 10 other people lost their ass.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Dummies.
So not everybody can win, right? You understand that. Not everybody can be a winner.
And I even talked about this with Abba. Abba said, not everybody can get rich. Everybody can get rich if you apply yourself properly, if you have the right mindset, if you're smarter and you're better. So I'm encouraging people to become smarter and better. And don't be a dumb idiot. This is not my fault that I'm poor. It is. Be better.
You're not encouraging people.
Bro, can we talk about what the insane thing is I've seen SNEAKO talk about systemic racism. And like basically what SNEAKO is saying in this instance is that if you are systemically oppressed, it's your fault because you could just make more money if you just listen to me. That's very, very like, do you see how like about 5 times already we've seen like a massive level of cognitive dissonance in this when it comes to SNEAKO and his ideology? Can we just like keep that in mind? Over and over again, SNEAKO shows himself to be somebody who doesn't have like a foundation, like a logical, emotional foundation in any capacity.
People to get smarter or better. You're encouraging people to go on their phones and look for get rich quick schemes. That's what e-commerce shit is. That's what NFT and crypto shit is.
No, it's not. I just shot my course, the Creativity Kit, and there I'm like, I share all the values and like everything that I learned on YouTube. I'm sharing information, adding value. It's not encouraging people to just get rich quick scheme. It's how do you add value to the marketplace?
Okay, let's say that somebody takes your course for 4 years. Tell me what they learn.
Everything that I've learned from 9 years of doing YouTube.
Yeah, talk to me about it. How do you add value to something?
How to stay true to your word, how to make interesting videos, how to capture people's attentions, how to be funnier, how to not be self-conscious when you're vlogging in public, how to make videos that are more interesting than everything else you see online.
Okay, and out of all the people that have taken your course, how many successful YouTubers have you spun out of it?
It's been up for 2 days.
Oh, okay.
It's been up for 2 days. But a lot of everyone there, you could ask them. I think they're watching right now. They're all really happy.
So he does do some like MLM bullshit scheme, just like Andrew Tate. Wow, he's really he's literally an Andrew Tate sheep. What the fuck?
How do you think that if there's 1,000 people watching you and you produce 1,000 more streamers, how is there going to be enough viewers for every single person?
Not everybody will make it. That's obvious.
Okay,
that's the marketplace.
Sure, that's great. But okay,
Winners,
so why
winners,
are you saying now not everybody will make it, but earlier you were saying everybody can make it?
Everybody can, not everybody will.
Okay.
How's that hard to comprehend? And Abba said the same argument. I think it's really dumb. Everybody can get it, but most people will fail.
Yeah, the problem is that you're obfuscating with that language. You're not selling reality to your audience, because reality is anybody could, sure, but that anybody could is 1%. The other 99% are going to fail. That's what that means. So instead of talking about how people can get cars, houses, and bitches, why not focus on the things that actually give like spiritual fulfillment to people's lives?
I had Young Don on my stream and we were.
How are you going to talk? Hold on. Why would you even have God in your mouth while you're talking about fucking 20 women at the same time? That's not a congruent lifestyle.
To you, but in Islam you can have 4 wives. So I mean,
are you Islamic? Hold on. Did you say God or Allah? I'm sorry. Maybe I misheard you.
Those words mean the same thing, Destiny.
Can I just
Those words
clarify something?
Wait, no, hold on. Wait, what do I need to clarify? I don't know how you want to pretend to talk about God, and then in the other breath you're talking about fucking 20 women. It doesn't work that way.
In Islam, you can have 4 wives. I want to.
You're not Islamic, and you didn't say 4 earlier. And I don't. And even in Islam.
Well, he said he wanted to fuck a bunch of bitches and not have like a bunch of wives. So.
Not any religion.
True. That's not, hold on, guys. It's not true that you can just have 20 wives in Islam or whatever. First off, hold on. The Prophet would only take orphans or widows as his extra wives, and that's where the example came from. And even then, they strongly discourage Muslims from doing that because Allah says that you can't love each woman equally. So they say don't do it. So this whole thing that people turn to towards Islam is people who don't actually study the religion or know anything about it. So I just wanted to make that quick clarification.
And even if they did, that's for wives, not for bitches that you kick out and then fuck new ones the next day.
You know what I think the difference is between me and you is that you've had a lot of people.
Pivot alert. We just pivoted. Somebody count how many times he pivots in this conversation.
People who are coping and accepting and like, okay, accept complacency. I think there's a divide in the internet now for people who are ambitious and people who are complacent. Destiny, I think your audience is full of complacent people. People are like, I can't get rich. This is a pyramid scheme. This is a scam. This is bad.
Well, it is a pyramid scheme, and it's very risky. And the only people who are going to make money on a crypto scheme are people that have money to blow. It's not really about complacency. It's about realistic expectations for most people. Like, the reason why young people today are fucking failing is because they have unrealistic expectations of their success, and they're not working on other areas of their life. They don't have backup plans. You should have a backup plan. I have a backup plan. If this all goes to shit, I've always had a backup plan, right? Like, I can get a job, all right? But not everybody can be fucking rich. It's not about complacency. You should work the hardest that you can. But if you don't have any money, you can't just randomly bargain a bunch of money away and shit your fucking pants. It's just basically what's happening. That's what the reality is that you're fucking throwing away your money in some capacity. That's all it is. That's what the advocation is for.
I'm gonna put on a mask, and then my people are like, bro, I want to go get it. So you can pick one. Yeah, not everybody will make it, but you can make it if you apply yourself. It's that simple. Your
path is the path of complacency. Your path is the path of spiritual and psychological weakness, right? Because you're complacent to hustle culture, right? Because if you were talking to people and you wanted to make and build real men, you'd be telling people either one, go to school, get a fucking education so you can get a real job, or two, at least go and do a trade.
Yeah, I think you're better. Honestly, I would say you're probably better. If you know what you want to do in school, go to school. But you're probably, if you don't know what you want to do, you're probably better off on a trade because it's going to last longer. The trades are going to last a lot longer. We're in our technological phase where things are getting displaced. Jobs are being driven down. It's very hard to create technology to displace something like a fucking engineer or a mechanic. It's very difficult to do those things. So those are really, like, it's not going to be, they're not going to like magically create, it's going to be very difficult to create something like a plumber, because those jobs are like generally intricate. Like, you know, the like systems, like in an HVAC capacity, they're very different overall. No two job is really the same, right? It's different from like a lot of other jobs that are getting automated. So, you know, like accounting, that's getting automated away every fucking day. You can go buy like QuickBooks. It's crazy. So you're probably, if you don't really know what you want to do, you're better off doing that. If you do know what you want to do, like you want to be a teacher, go ahead, do it. It can be very difficult and competitive depending on where you are. I get that. But, you know, you like strive. See, that's the thing. It's like strive for it. Even if it's risky, if you can mitigate the risk, if you want to do something that maybe is like a little bit of a saturated field, but you're willing to work your ass off and beat the other person who decided to go into that saturated field, go do it. If you put your mind to it, you can be better than those people. Absolutely. But you better hope that they don't want it more than you and they're not like, you know, maybe just smarter than you. But go for it. You're making a reasonable, calculated risk. But, you generally, if you don't really know what you want to do, be a plumber. Like, you can work your ass off. It's going to beat the fuck out of your body, but you're gonna make good money, because people don't want to do that.
Or if you really want to start a business, find some shit that you can offer that other people are willing to pay you money for because you can do it better for somebody else. Not fucking e-commerce. Not spamming affiliate links on some... let me finish. Not spamming affiliate links on some fucking blog so that some dude gets tricked on clicking on it from a fucking Instagram ad. Okay? When you talk about complacency, opening up 50 million TikTok videos and seeing people bragging about their 7 cars, well, these guys are probably crying themselves to sleep at night because they don't have a single person that loves them in the entire fucking world. That's the complacent path. And that's the path of weakness. It's literally, if you're going to talk about religious shit, that is literally the temptation of the devil. Flashing you like flashy shit and try to say, if you go and buy this, if you get that, if you've got this many women like you, that's the path to happiness. Come on, man.
That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I want that. I want all that stuff. Not that it's going to make me happy, but I want the capability to do whatever I want. Okay. I want to be rich enough so I can do that if I want to. That doesn't mean you're going to be happy. You need to be happy.
He wants that thing. He talks about it all the time. Dude, you see how this guy will be so fucking dishonest this second. This might be a little bit... I wonder if this is like the last conversation SNEAKO's really gonna have with people, because I can't imagine the. You know what I think? I think that SNEAKO is talking to people. I think he's just Andrew Tating people at this point. I think the only reason he's talking to people who disagree with him is so he can throw out ridiculous bullshit rhetoric that young kids or like dumb people will identify with. So that they'll buy his like fucking multi-marketing levels of the bullshit. He doesn't have to go like the same thing when anytime Andrew Tate's on, even when he gets wrecked by someone like Hassan or like XQC. He's still selling more of his bullshit MLM scheme, his multi-level marketing scheme. That's what's happening. So that's probably where SNEAKO's at. He's basically just engaging in like a pyramid pump and dump type of a scheme, bro.
By like all the stuff that we all know, family, close friends, being a good person, but I don't want anybody to hold me back. And see, people who watch your stuff, they're gonna see videos of like cars and mansions and be like, I'm never gonna have it. And then
yeah, but not everybody wants a car and a mansion. Like, I would like to be successful on YouTube, but even when we make it, I'm not gonna buy a fucking mansion, and I don't like cars. I mean, maybe it's because I don't have a dad. I don't know. But like, I'll probably get like a really like if I have the money for it now. That's the thing is I drive a fucking 2017 Kia Soul. I have the money to buy a brand new fucking like $100,000 car. It doesn't really matter. I just don't have a desire. If I get a new car, it's not going to be like a super expensive thing. It's probably going to be like probably like a $40,000 like SUV that like my wife and I can drive. So you know what I mean? Because I don't have that priority. I don't give a fuck about that kind of shit. It doesn't matter to me, right? That's the thing. So like, not everybody wants that shit. It's like not everybody cares about that type of shit, bro. It's the truth.
And then the people who watch my stuff, they're like, bro, damn, I want to go get that. So
yeah, but you shouldn't advocate for people to want very materialistic things. What you should want is to have like a decent job where you're respected by people. You find a wife that respects you. You find like friends that respect you and will treat you like a person, that will listen to you even when you're not at your highest, right? That's what you should be advocating for and looking for. Not like, oh, your entire self-worth is based on cars and like selling shit that doesn't have any fucking benefit to society in any capacity. That's what you really should be advocating for.
you can choose to cry and say like, this is a scam, this hurts feelings, or like, bro, how do I get it? I want to talk to that guy and learn what he learned.
You don't spend any time on your channel talking about those other things like family, close friends, being a good person. Because I know, because I've watched some of your content. I've never heard you talk about like these are things.
You've seen enough of his content to know that he doesn't talk about any of that shit. Ever. He doesn't. He makes fun of it. He calls it purple pilled. He makes fun of it. He makes fun of young Don for being fucking married. You don't talk about these things. What are you talking about? Get the fuck out of here. I like that. It's like, well, you don't know. Yeah, people do know. You never talk about it. And if you do ever talk about it, which I doubt you do, you never make it like a primary point to talk about it in any conversation. You never go like, I think you should have these things. Every time someone pushes you in a corner, you just start like making up shit so that you don't look as bad.
Okay, I'm sorry. Do you have a lot of videos where you talk about this is how you be a really good friend? This is how you be a good person? Or is it obsessing over material possessions 99% of the time? If I were to ask your audience, what is SNEAKO?
It's obvious, Destiny.
What?
Being a good person is not something I need to explain.
Being a good person, you don't need, dude. He instantly admitted he's wrong. He instantly admitted that he's not talking about that kind of shit. This is fucking hilarious, bro. How do you like this?
And see, this is what I mean when I'm telling you that you are unfulfilled and you don't know what you're talking about. No, hold on. Just by you saying, being a good person is easy, that's not true. Being a good person requires more work than starting your own business.
Yeah,
being
probably.
a good person requires more work than getting lucky on some shit coin. Okay.
So what do you think is being a good person, Destiny?
Being a good person means having honor, means being honest, it means doing the right thing when it's difficult to do it. It might mean being reliable for your friends. It might mean having a job or providing for a family. Being a good person can mean a ton of different things in a ton of different contexts.
Everybody knows what you said. Everybody knows that.
Not everybody does. Do you think most people are good people? Do you think that we have guidance in society right now to be good people? Or do you think that most of it is trying to tell us how to open a Robinhood account to look for the right penny stock to get rich on?
There's a lot of distractions for sure, but it's not, bro.
This is the distraction.
So then, yeah, that is a distraction. But like, you should also like, okay, here's how you mitigate distractions. That would be like what something would be to explain to people. Like, here's how you mitigate this particular distraction and this, and you know, A, B, C, D, X, Y, Z. Yeah, that's what people do. I don't know why you wouldn't. Like, you're not doing that. You're just telling people how to be distracted. Can I go up on the wall too? No, I can't.
I'm telling you that you are the distraction from being a good person right now.
I'm distracting. I'm a bad person. And I'm encouraging bad people.
Yeah, no, you're encouraging bad behavior by telling people that the path to happiness is lined with Bugattis.
Well, the reality is like, I don't think SNEAKO's a bad person, but he's acting in a way that a bad person would act. Right? Like, that's the reality here.
Mansions and bitches.
How are you saying that that's my bad? That's not what I'm saying.
Because that's what you talk about. Listen to what your desires are. You're trying to pretend.
You get triggered by stuff like that.
I'm not triggered at all, dude. I know what the path to happiness is. I'm not out here.
I've never said that you need to like have a Bugatti and like the material objects. Actually, I'm very anti-materialistic.
You are the most materialistic. You're literally telling Abba, like, you're saying, I see apartments and I want to own that. I want to get that. I want to own that. What do you mean? Why do you need to own that?
It's gonna make me happy. I want the cape. I want to be the master of my own universe. I don't want to be held back by
You're not.
like, that's the person's better than me. No, I want to be the best person I can be and be able to buy whatever I want.
You're saying you want to be the master of your own.
Being able to get it.
You're saying you want to be the master of your own universe, but when you walk down a street and you look at buildings, those buildings own you. Do you understand that your whole drive in life is material? That's what's driving you. How are you the master of your own universe when you see something flashy and that's what's pushing you to earn more money, to open more e-commerce shops?
That's not just it. It's not materialism. It's also just the relationships and the way people are. People are distracted by Kim Kardashian, by Instagram, by TikTok.
Yeah, you're the
by SNEAKO.
male Kim Kardashian. That's the whole point.
I'm the male Kim Kardashian.
Yes. Telling people that they need to, you got to start a business, you got to do e-commerce, you got to get 20 girls, you got to get the cars, you got to get the buildings.
If you think that telling people to go get it and to hustle is being the male Kim Kardashian, then we just fundamentally disagree on life.
What's the difference?
That Kim Kardashian is encouraging, like, you get famous for nothing, to be a thought, to just put on makeup and say nothing and you can be famous. I'm encouraging people to be the best version of themselves.
No, you're
Okay. Be famous for...
You know, I remember listening to like Elliot Hulse, and he's got a little crazy lately. When I was younger, I used to listen to like Elliot Hulse. Elliot Hulse would talk about almost all the time, for people who don't know, the best version of yourself. That's what Elliot Hulse would do. You know what I mean? He would be like, he'd explain to you, he would talk about it in like the way that you should work out. It was actually very inspiring. He would talk about it in that capacity. That's talking about being the best version of yourself all the time. You don't do that ever. You just talk about how do you make as much money as possible. That's it.
For nothing and being a thought. The male equivalent to that is saying, try to make a YouTube channel and be funny and trade crypto. It's the same thing, but for men. How do you not see that?
That's the same thing. That's adding value to the world. And
You're not adding value to the world by buying and selling crypto. You're adding value to the world by making yourself a better person.
Look, you're getting really triggered by the crypto thing.
I'm not triggered
He's
at
getting
all.
triggered.
I don't know why you keep saying that.
Value to the world. It's bigger than crypto. It's adding value. A lot of people like get complacent and they go type essays and they go whine about other people's money. And I'm saying you need to add value. My way of adding value is being funny, is entertaining and talking on stream all the time. And I have a couple.
Well, that's fine. That you're, and first of all, I don't really think that streamers add a particularly crazy amount of value. I mean, I guess you can make the entertainment argument, but like if you think that adds value, maybe. But like then it's offset by like how you're teaching young men to be valueless. So that's really what you're doing. So I don't know that that's necessarily the most valuable thing in the world here. But okay. Okay.
Businesses, that's what I know how to do. Not everybody's going to do exactly what I do, but I'm telling people to be the best version of themselves.
Yeah, but you're not telling people to be the best versions of themselves by exploring and expanding on their own talents and exploring and expanding on their own personal relationships. You're telling them that the best version of themselves is some version of person that can buy houses, cars, and have 20 girls fucking them. You said at the beginning of the conversation that if you're a good person, you're going to have a business and you're going to have a lot of girls after you. That's what you said, right? That's how you know if you're a good person. Or you tell me, how do you know if you're a good person? Because earlier you said you know you're a good person when you've got houses, cars, and girls.
That's what bots think. That's what bots think when they see my content and other like male self-improvement content. They're like, these.
That's what he says all the time. I always said what bots think about his content. Dude, this guy is actually coping so fucking hard. Jesus Christ, he's getting fucking destroyed by Destiny. People were telling me to watch this, and I was like, I don't really know if I'm interested in any more SNEAKO shit. This is fucking brutal. And like, it's none of it is disparaging either. He's just literally telling SNEAKO the way that SNEAKO is. He's just saying, this is how you act. This is what you say. And SNEAKO's like, no, I don't. I don't say these things. Like, you literally say them verbatim. You said them 15 minutes ago. This is insane. This is embarrassing. Holy fuck.
Guys just care about cars. It's not that. The red pill is not just about women. It's about knowing and understanding the truth of the world and acting accordingly so that you don't fall into the trap that a lot of people fall into.
What is
scared of everything that the government tells us to be scared about?
Did you tell me earlier, did you say, I asked you, how do you know if you're a good person? And you said a good person is somebody that can buy houses, cars, and get a lot of women. Did you not say that?
A good person is a wholesome person who does the right thing. The same stuff that you have.
He never said that.
Friends,
He's never said
their
that.
Family.
Okay, I'm glad you got. Cool. I'm glad I got you to come around on that now. So a good person isn't somebody.
On that, that's what I've always believed, and I say that all the time. I talk about God on my stream.
How do you? Okay, well, let's do this. Okay, how do you have God on your stream while you're talking about so many different women? How is that godlike? How do you expect, let's say that you do that. Let's say somebody gets your lifestyle, okay? And you get your 20 women up to your 25, 26, 27 years old. How are you just going to flip that off and then go and find one woman when that's what you've been putting out in the world?
Because women could fall in, women don't care. You could have 20 women. Like,
you don't think women care? The type of woman that, do you know which type of women don't care? It's the same type of women that you make fun of. It's going to be the Kim Kardashian clones. They're going to be the ones that don't care.
That's not true.
Yes,
That's not true.
You think that you can go from having 20 women through your 20s, and then at 26, 27, you're going to find like a woman that is spiritual, that is looking for the same things in life that you are going to claim?
20 spiritual women.
What does that mean?
What makes them spiritual?
20 spiritual women.
How are you going to have 20 spiritual women?
Collect them like Pokemon.
Okay. Well, I mean, if you want to meme, I mean, at least you admit you're wrong. Okay. Do you want? Okay. I've got two other friends if you want to throw them in here. They're conservative.
I don't understand why you think. What's wrong about that?
The problem is that the energy that you're putting out in the world is the male equivalent of an OnlyFans star. You're the male equivalent of a Kim Kardashian. The way that you're selling young men to go after happiness, you're just as much a cog in the capitalist system as anybody.
Listen to Destiny. If you want to improve yourself, if you want to start your own business online, if you want to be independent, you're a Kim Kardashian. Sure. That doesn't really affect my message or what people think. Sure. Okay. We're the male Kim Kardashian. What do you want us to be? You want to cover our face and take more shots? We're gonna have a lockdown for Monkey real soon.
Do you see how you're defining yourself and myself by like the two most common conspiracies that people talk about? That's like your whole fixation. When I'm going out into the world or when I'm talking to people, I'm trying to think, what makes you a good person? What makes you have virtue? How do you cut like a solid character inside of yourself when you're carving out your virtues, right? I'm not thinking like, do I need another vaccine? Should I wear the mask? These are the farthest fucking thoughts of my mind. I'm not obsessing over what the last thing Alex Jones said or what the last TikToker said or what's trending on Twitter, right? There's more to life than that. You have to understand that. If masks are at the forefront of your mind, then the government has poisoned you more than anybody that steps on a bus with a mask on.
You started up the conversation.
Damn.
You're the one that's bringing it up now. We're into spirituality, and your spirit is covered with a giant fucking mask that says hustle every day on it.
Yeah, that's what men need to do. Men need to keep providing. That's what makes men happy.
That doesn't make you a provider. How do you think you're going to be able to provide romantically for a woman when you're 28 if you've been sleeping around and fucking around for your entire 20s? You're not even going to know what a healthy relationship looks like.
Once you fuck a lot of women, you understand how they work and you get better with them.
No, when you fuck a lot of women, you understand how to fuck women. That's the only thing you get. You don't know how to love a woman. You don't know how to take care of a woman. In fact, you probably know the opposite if you've been through that many. Yeah. Anybody will tell you that. 100%. You think you're telling me, but if you found a woman that had fucked through 20 or 30 guys up to when she was 26, you think she'd know how to take care of you?
Nope, it's different for men and women.
Tell me why it's different. Why do you think it's different?
Men can fuck as many women as possible because we can get as many women pregnant. We can get 100 women pregnant today.
Is that your goal? Is your goal to get 100 women pregnant?
I'm explaining my point before you get triggered. A woman can only get pregnant once in a year. That's why women are wired to be with one man. But a man is wired to spread your seed. So you can be with as many women as possible. It doesn't change how you love a woman.
I would encourage you. You should talk to women. The kind of women that you want when you're 27, you should start talking to them now because they don't want to touch somebody like you with a fucking 10-foot pole. They would not want anything to do with you. If you go into a church, and you start talking to women in their late 20s and you say, what kind of a man are you looking for? They're not going to say, I want a man who could have fucked and gotten 100 bitches pregnant. That's the kind of man I want to take care of me.
Women don't know what they want from a man. They don't know what to say. They just don't understand men.
What are you talking about? Like, SNEAKO goes on about this, and this is true. Women tend to want like a provider. Financially was one. Emotionally is another. Women know what they want. Like, in general, people tend to struggle with understanding what they want until they go through life and they start experiencing it, and then they go, this is what I want. This is how I want to go. This is how I want to go. But like this idea, women are just dumb fucking children to SNEAKO. He doesn't respect women. And the irony is so palpable because I'm not trying to be mean, but I've never met a woman that was dumber than SNEAKO. And I'm not trying to be a fucking idiot, but I mean, Jesus Christ. It's fucking insane. It's fucking crazy. But it's true, dude. I don't know what to tell you.
Inherently.
And you think you have the answer to that? You think at 23 you figured out what women want?
Yeah.
How many? What's the longest relationship you've been in?
2 years.
How do you?
For a year.
Okay, so you've been in one or maybe two relationships in your life. How do you think you already know what women want?
I've been in many. I've been in maybe like 20 relationships.
Not real relationships. You can't have. You're 23. You couldn't have been in.
What do you think a real relationship is? Like watching Netflix every night with your boo bear and like.
A real relationship is being with somebody in a long-term capacity, understanding how to be with somebody, understanding how to compromise, understanding how to interact with somebody, understanding how to respect them even when you're having like a bad day. It's a lot about different experiences, understanding how to be like emotionally controlled and temperamental and tempered rather. Like that's what a relationship is about. It's about learning and exploring another person, how to set on boundaries and how to hold to the other boundaries that other person has set. It's about a lot of different things, and it takes a very long time. You're not going to get into a relationship for a year, one relationship for a year, and understand any of this whatsoever for the most part. And if you're young and you're in a relationship, you are a dumb, selfish, fucking idiot. All of you. And if you're like, no, that wasn't me, Papa God, then you haven't grown up enough. That's the reality, okay? And we need to understand that. It takes a lot to understand a relationship and how to be with the same person for a long period of time. It gets very irritating, okay? And you know this because you can't even bear to be around your mother or your fucking father for more than 5 minutes before screeching, right? This is how it is. It takes a long time to understand relationships and to understand how to like interact with people and to set boundaries for yourself and also to like hold to boundaries. It takes a lot.
Like going on a picnic?
A real relationship is dealing with the ups and downs of life with a partner that you're committed to, not somebody that you meet Friday night to fuck.
Shit. Wait, keep talking?
I don't understand how...
Bro, I swear to God, Sneako's bombing. Dude, do you see what just happened?
You're committed.
Like...
You couldn't have been...
What do you think a real relationship is? Like watching Netflix?
It's like conveniently every single time he gets pressed on a point, he has some fucking way to like push for the point. Now his screen's all fucking jumbled.
Shit. All right, keep talking.
I don't understand how you think you can live your lifestyle and flip a switch at 27 and all of a sudden be the type of man that you want to be for the type of woman you want to get. You're going to be dating Instagram models and fucking them your entire life. Or you're going to be like Andrew Tate. You're going to be 38 on a live stream bragging about being able to fuck 18-year-olds, and that's going to be the rest of your life.
Okay, since we're meat watching, that's not the women that I get in relationship with. I get in relationships with like good, like natural women.
No, you won't. Good natural women don't want anything to do with you. You're toxic.
True. Red flag.
You sound like a bitch, bro.
Do you think a good woman's
I was another man calling him another man.
Let's look at conservatives, okay?
Right,
do you think if you had a daughter and a guy like you came up to that daughter, would you let your daughter date that guy?
Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah, I'm a good guy.
A guy that said he's been with 20 women by the time he's 23, a guy that's looking for you would let that daughter date that guy. You're lying. You know you're lying.
I have to ask, SNEAKO, you would give your daughter to a man who has 19 other women?
If he was a good guy, yeah.
Really?
What?
No shot. That's the biggest cope. That might be that's the bigger cope than the guy with 15 fucking booster shots that's going for his 16th one right now. That's the bigger cope. That's the bigger cope than the 82-year-old getting the smallpox vaccine because he thinks he's going to get fucking monkeypox through the air. That's the biggest cope I've ever heard in my entire life. There's no shot. You wouldn't let your daughter near that guy. Would you let your daughter date somebody like Andrew Tate? If your daughter was 18 and Andrew Tate came up to her and when he's 40 years old, would you let your daughter date that guy? You wouldn't. You're not putting out into the universe the type of energy to get the type of woman that you want when you're in your late 20s.
I'd rather she be with like a strong, independent man than a guy saying, that guy's toxic.
Why do you have to...
Bro, first of all, that's like a mess of like, oh, one or the other. Second of all, like, Andrew Tate's not going to be with them in any long-term capacity. They're not going to find any like emotional positiveness being with Andrew Tate. It's going to be some money and then it's going to be gone. There's not going to be anything. No man, no real true man in their right mind would ever let their fucking daughter like marry or date SNEAKO in any capacity. Well, not marry because he doesn't want to get married yet, but date SNEAKO in any capacity. Like it's insane. It's just not true. It's just not going to happen.
You're not. What you're talking about isn't it? What you're talking about isn't a
booster shot toxic guy. Like that's toxic. I'd be more afraid of that.
Yeah. That you're back to the masks. You think about masks more than sheep do, more than the government does. You're like so fixated on it. It's not even a mask to you. It's actually a safety blanket. It wouldn't surprise me if you had a weighted blanket made out of like discarded masks. It's like keeping you nice. Just keep me away from the mask, guys, right?
I wasn't talking about the masks. I was talking about the fact that you just called me toxic, which is some female shit that you.
That's not female. I'm saying that if you're going through so many women at such an early age, you're not putting out the right energy into the universe to get the type of woman that you're telling me men should be after, or you should want when you get to your late 20s.
I also have to say, SNEAKO, most women who are pious and are religious, be it Christian or Islam, aren't interested in being one of 20 or one of 30.
Yeah, absolutely not.
It's their conservative values, and it's not the way that they set things up. Do you understand that, or do you not believe that?
Yeah, that's true.
Right? And
that's true.
Also, I know you guys have been going at it for a bit, but
this is one of the things. Is like women who want a provider man, like people who want a more traditional relationship. They're not looking to just be controlled. I think that people really need to understand this. Women who want like a provider relationship don't want to just be controlled. They want to be controlled by somebody that they feel or know will treat them will control them in the correct way. It's like, yeah, I want a man who goes to work, comes home, takes care of me, takes care of my children, and a man that I feel is worth me giving up a lot of myself to, because I know they're giving themselves up to me in a different capacity. That's what a woman wants. Nobody wants some dude like these women that want to be in these like relationships where they're staying home, cooking, cleaning, taking care of kids, making sure that when you step through that door, your world is the easiest thing ever. They want somebody that's worth doing that. That's what they want, right? They don't want some asshole that's going to be an abusive, toxic fucking red flag. That's not what they want. And this idea that like women are just fucking stupid. No, women are not dumb. Women are not going to give themselves up to some fucking moron. I mean, some of them will, right? But just as many women who will give themselves up to a fucking moron, there's is how many moronic fucking men are there, right? But they're not just going to give themselves up to a fucking idiot, right? If they know their worth. So they want somebody that's going to complete what they want in a person, and you're not that person. You will never, like, hopefully, I don't want to say it, but like the way you're acting now, you'll never be that person. You're going to be, it's 10 years are going to go by, and you're going to be miserable. It's going to be sad as fuck for you, bro. And this is the thing. You could cope as hard as you want. You can scream, you can yell, you could dump your crypto bullshit, but at the end of the day, you're not happy, and you're going to get less happy every single day. You're not building through your developmental cycle to be somebody that's worth being with. This is the thing. It's fucking nuts. And I don't know. I don't understand how it happened.
When I hear you gloat about Andrew Tate or all these other guys, it's like you go on their Instagrams, you go on what they advertise. What they advertise are the bad bitches. What they advertise are the women with their titties out. What they advertise are the very women that they criticize, or the kind of material wealth that you say is not the most important thing. But it's like their whole pool for young men is these things. Oh, I got all the women. I got all the baddest bitches. I got all the money. I got all this stuff. So when you say, oh, no, that's not what we're selling people on what makes a happy life, I have to look at you sideways, because like that's literally what all the red pill guys sell. They have themselves in pictures with hot women, and they have themselves with all the material goods in the world. So how are you saying that's not what we're pushing as like the antidote for happiness? I don't understand that.
Instagram, but that's to catch people's attention. But that's overall not the end goal.
No, hold on. You have to understand this, okay? Because I don't know. Okay, hold on. I'm being really mean. I know I'm like bullying you out. Okay, I don't mean to be that, but you can take it. Okay, you can take it. When you go through life acting a certain way, right? You are carving out like pieces of your soul every time you make a decision. Every time you fuck a new woman, every time you fuck somebody over to get a new business, every time you make a new fucking trade on your Robinhood account, because all you're doing is trading crypto to get rich, you are trading away pieces of who you are to achieve some goal. By the time you're 27 or 28, there's not going to be any part of you left to go after the lifestyle that you say might be your ultimate goal. You can't say that you have goal A when you spend your entire life getting things from goal B. You can't just switch up in the middle like that. You're not building towards anything. You're going to crash into a wall. By the time you hit 30, you're going to realize you spent your entire life building towards something that you don't even want. And by the time you do go over to the stuff that you do want, the people that are in that area that have been working at it since they're 20, they're not going to want to have anything to do with you. You're going to be 10 years behind every person that you want to associate with.
I don't know why you get so mad about my lifestyle.
I'm not, hold on. I'm not mad about your lifestyle.
If you want to like a nice wholesome relationship with my wife, then go ahead. But I want to.
He's not mad about his lifestyle. SNEAKO can't stay consistent. Every time Destiny pushes him on being like a toxic person, he's like, well, I don't really want that. And then he'll go right back to what he's doing now. He's like, well, actually, I do want that. And he's just explaining how like he's completely fucking logically and morally disfigured here.
And I know a lot of people watch my chat want to.
There's not enough women in the world for every guy to have 10 girlfriends.
I think it triggers you. Because
why do you keep saying I'm triggered? I'm perfectly fine in my life. I'm not triggered at all right now. If you want to say that I'm triggered, I'm not triggered about your life. What I'm triggered is that you are selling OnlyFans for men. You are leading people down the same spiritually empty road. It's down the same spiritually empty road that Kim Kardashian is sending women down. That's what you're doing.
Great point. You got him. Okay. I think that the fact that you're getting so triggered about like the alpha male stuff that you see on Instagram and TikTok is because deep down, every man kind of knows that like this is natural. And you've given up on that. What? You've given up and you've trusted the government. You listen to what you're told. You believe. You say words like toxic for other men. You got programmed. And so I always see it for people like you in the comment section too and in the chat. They're like, what? And it's like the reason you're getting heated and triggered is because I'm tapping into something that's in.
Bro, we're at a point now where I think Destiny has gotten to a point with SNEAKO where he's We're really at a point with SNEAKO from Destiny. Oh, dude, okay. We're at a point now where Destiny has set this situation up so what anytime SNEAKO says the same, like, you're just a bot, basically, it means nothing. SNEAKO has lost any weight of the word bot. It's like the word racist now. Oh, you're a racist. Oh, you're this. You're a groomer. People running around saying all these, well, you're a Nazi. Like, these words don't mean anything anymore. Destiny, like, SNEAKO, none of these things matter anymore. You're programmed. Okay. It's boring now. Nobody cares. It doesn't mean anything. He used to rely on that as like his whole end-all be-all type of a perspective. And I think that for the most part, people on even in his chat are like, oh, well, we're waking up to it, and we realize like this is just dumb, you know?
Aaron, this is stuff that men, this biological for men. Fucking a lot of women, taking as much as we possibly can, being the best version of ourselves, that's natural for men. And you hear it, and at some point you gave up on that and decided to believe in the left-leaning bullshit.
He just has like a different version of what the best version of like a man is going to be. It's really all it is.
And say words like toxic and put on a mask. And then now, when you hear somebody against your whole ideology that might challenge your whole worldview, the fact that you trust the government, you trust the programming, and someone's saying, no, that's you're like, but it's, you know, fine. You can stay programmed. I don't want to listen to them.
What does it mean to you to be an alpha male? What does that mean?
Alpha, that word doesn't really matter to me. But that's
no, hold on. No. Don't run from it.
Yes,
Talk to me about the concept. Because in my mind, well, hold on, in my mind, I have an idea of what an alpha male would look like. I know what that looks like. Okay, so I want you to tell me in your mind what you're selling to your audience. What does an alpha male look like to you?
I don't use that word. I don't like that word.
You literally just used that word. So tell me what. Okay, then let's move away from that. What is a man to you? I'm not sure. You're the one speaking in caps lock. Okay, I'm not triggered. Tell me what is a man to you? What is a successful man? What is the ideal version of a man to you?
Okay. So yeah, I mean, this is a really good question. The ideal version of a man to me is somebody who, well, first and foremost, will take care of them and their family. They're emotionally controlled. They are like, they'll put themselves on the line before anyone else in like their family. These are like the types of things of being a man means to be. They'll be virtuous. They'll operate in the way that is best for everybody in any capacity to the best ability that they have, right? And they'll admit when they're wrong. They try to be the best person. Like that would be, for the most part, what it is to me. You probably get some shit in there, like, you know, yeah, that's pretty much what it is to me. I wonder what it is to SNEAKO, other than getting a lot of bitches.
Man that could do whatever he wants to do.
Okay.
And doesn't listen to anybody. And creates his own world and is the master of his own universe.
Okay. A man that can do whatever he wants to do and doesn't listen to anybody, what you just described
is Hitler, if you really think about it. Okay.
A 17-year-old teenager. Okay. That's what you just described there.
Yeah. And then you turn 18 and then you gave up on it and started voting for Biden.
Yeah. I turned 18. I gave up on it because I had to become an actual man, right? A man can't do whatever. Hold on. A man can't do whatever he wants to do because if you're a man, no,
you can't.
No.
Nonsense.
So, okay. If you're a man, do you get responsibilities? Can you walk away from a house? Can you walk away from a family? Can you walk away from your obligations? Is that what a real man does?
That's not what a real man wants to do.
A real man doesn't want to have any obligations in his life.
No, obligations to other people. Like you create your, like the friends and the family you have are stuff that you cultivate.
Sure. So you don't do, so at some point, being a man isn't about doing whatever you want to do. Sometimes it's about doing things you don't want to do. Sometimes it's about upholding obligations or virtues that you
bullshit.
have. That's bullshit. All right, then what you're describing to me.
Don't do it. It's that simple.
What you're describing to me is an unruly teenager. If you don't want to do something, don't do it. Just walk away from it. Fuck it. Who cares? That's what you're describing.
And what happens though? Hold on. Let me one more point. Destiny turned 18 and then gave up on his balls. And then
you don't even know my background to say that. You have no idea who I am or what I've done or anything.
We vote for.
Let's stay out of the personal.
I mean, we can get personal if you want. It's just the worst argument to have. It's just
SNEAKO, your argument is essentially that basically you can.
SNEAKO's basic argument is that he's a rich, spoiled little bitch. Like that's really what it comes down. I'm sorry, but that's really what it is. Not expecting a man to have an obligation is pathetic. Like what happened in your life where you don't have to hold to obligations? Like you literally must have the most fucking pathetic fucking privileged silver spoon upbringing ever. There's no way anybody, like, life is about doing things you don't want to do sometimes. That's it. And it's nice to not have to do them, right? Like having more money means you don't have to like necessarily always do those things. And I get that. It's awesome to not always have to have like the same responsibility as other people, right? Like I absolutely agree with that. It's cool, like having money. It's cool to like not have to have as many responsibilities. It's cool, but you still have to have them, right? That's the thing.
Do what you want and that you assume your responsibilities, correct?
Yeah.
And if you don't do that, then you're letting go of your boss.
Yeah.
Do you think that people that, let's say, sacrifice their lives to save their countries or do all this other kind of stuff, where they're assuming responsibilities that may be against what they want, but they're doing it because they understand that their responsibility as a man, their duty is to something higher, and not even themselves, but to something larger? Do you accept that?
That's the whole concept of God as well. Like, you can't be somebody that claims to be religious. Then you because like that's what the whole thing is. Like, you're supposed to do things that benefit like the greater good and like God, like that. And he says, "Oh, I'm religious." I believe, no, you're not. You're very clearly not religious. You don't have any like religious virtue.
It's probably a higher indication of what a man's supposed to be, rather than being able to do whatever the fuck you want.
Well, if that's what he wants to do, if he wants to give up his life for his country, that's what he wants. That's his bigger belief. He's a master of his own universe.
It's not about giving up your life to a country. It's that if you are a man, you understand that you have obligations to your family and to your community that are going to overrule things that you want to do. A man that does whatever he wants to do, that's a weak man's idea of a strong man. It's a guy that walks out on anything, doesn't give a fuck about anybody, and does whatever the fuck he wants because he's only in the selfish pursuit of his own happiness. This is a guy that's never going to have a real wife. He's never going to have real friends or family because everybody's going to look at that dude as a teenager that's going to drop everything and quit when life gets too hard. Like,
did I get a raid and I just didn't even realize it? Hey, thank you so much for the raid. I really appreciate it. God damn. Hold on a second. What the fuck? 200 people. Holy shit. What's going on, brother? I gotta look into this person. Put this on here. I gotta remember to cut this out of the video. I gotta remember to cut this one out of the video, fellas. Yeah, apparently we got raided, brother. Just now. See a bunch of new people in the chat. It's fucking crazy, bro. How you doing? How's everybody doing today? There we go. I gotta follow this person back. There we go. I gotta follow this person back. Oh shit, I'm listening to myself now. Mute that, brother. Let's see, what did we do today? What do we do here?
Mr. Jones's phone.
Who is this?
Which became what it is now.
Oh, okay. I just keep saying like Hassan and Vosh. Okay.
Okay. Like people that because
Are you talking to Hassan Vosh today?
or something like that.
Or are you doing like a review? That's cool. Thanks for the raid, brother. Thanks for the raid, brother. I'm gonna get back to this, alright? Bless up, baby. Bless up, baby. We're gonna get back to this. I appreciate everybody who stopped by. I guess I could do the alerts for a sec. I don't think I have alerts on for raids though.
Just calls him feeling good. You deserve it, Papa W.
Thank you. I appreciate that, brother. I love you. Mwah. Leave this up. Yeah, I turned the alerts off for the for raids is because people used to raid me with like 5 viewers and it was like just to fuck with me. They would like somebody was doing like a raid spam a while ago. I was like, okay. Alright, let's get back to this. Thank you so much. Here's a little kiss. Mwah.
all the tests of being a real man are about doing the things that you don't want to do when you most don't want to do them. Everybody that is an adult that has integrity will tell you that.
If it's righteous, but a lot of the stuff that you think are like doing stuff you don't want to do, like putting on a mask or like wearing a seatbelt and then injecting another whatever.
Putting on a mask and wearing a seatbelt. These are the everyday things. These are the everyday things.
That's what you're told by the government and by the higher ups as a real.
Now he's arguing that seatbelts. He's arguing that seatbelts aren't necessary and they're not good. We're really bro, come on. Now you can't do seatbelts too. You gotta take an L somewhere. The government tells you to wear a seatbelt. It doesn't protect you from anything. What are you talking about? How could you make even like a commonsensical person be like, yeah, this probably helps if I crash. It keeps me grounded in some capacity. How are you gonna argue seatbelts, bro? What the fuck? What's happening here?
Real man. Your idea of a real man is brainwashed. You're saying words like toxic to me.
Yeah, I'm saying words like toxic to you because when you can't have God in your mouth right after talking about fucking 20 women by the time you're 23. Those two things are fundamentally incompatible with each other. So of course I'm going to call you toxic. Okay. But I'm not the one calling you toxic. It's going to be the woman that you want when you're 27. She's going to be the one. It's going to be the woman that you want when you're 27. She's going to be the one that's calling you toxic, and her father's going to be the one that's calling you toxic.
Bro.
That's the problem.
And also you in this call.
I don't care that much. It's just funny for me. I don't care. But I'm telling you that that's the future that's waiting for
Holy
you.
Shit.
Okay, fine. But also, I've noticed in my life, like with my experience with women, is women actually like toxic guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, young dumb girls probably, and young dumb men like toxic women. Like, okay.
22-year-old Instagram women like toxic guys. The types of women that like the types of guys are the same types of women that you're making fun of every day on your show.
No, my longest relationship was she was like 5-6 years older than me. She wasn't American, and
Okay.
she thought it was like toxic and problematic, all those like nonsense words that you're using.
So then why did it end? I'm confused.
But she never left. She never left.
Well,
She left
you know,
because she had to leave because of like because of visa restrictions and stuff like that. She had to go. But I was.
why didn't you?
Why don't you
It's
marry her?
triggering. I can't believe you'd say that, and then they stay. You know, that's just they like being in that. They like living in that.
why didn't you marry her?
Because I'm too young. I don't want to get married yet. And also she's older and stuff like that. And
She's older, so you were dating her. You had no intention of marrying her. How is that Christian? How is that godlike? What's the point?
I'm not Christian.
So what? Why, so wait, then why talk about God or who? Which God are you talking about?
God is an idea to me.
So
I'm not religious.
So, so he's spiritual. He's not religious now. What the fuck is happening?
Okay. So
religion.
here's the second part. Okay, people that won't even call themselves Christian, let alone non-denominational. Okay, people don't even call themselves Christian. You don't have an idea of God. You don't have a relationship with God. You have a word that you throw around to try to sneak some of your ideas in under. Because following, let me finish. This is important, okay? If you want to follow some version of God, you want to follow some religion, right? You can't just pick and choose the nice parts of it and then apply those in a way that makes you look better, right? In that case, you're wearing religion like a suit. You're just wearing it like a convenient piece of clothing. You could put on and take off whenever you want to. You can't tell me if you can't even tell me like a faith, Christianity, Islam, Judaism. You can't even tell me any of that, let alone denomination. You can't tell me that you have a religion. Who do you even pray to at night?
I like ideas of all religion. All religion I like.
That's you have nothing. You don't have a religion. Just say
you're getting triggered. Relax.
I'm not triggered at all.
I don't have a religion.
Let him go.
Yeah, okay.
I like ideas of all religions. I read all of them. And prayer to me is meditation. It's reflection.
This is not for nothing, but this is the exact same thing that a woman would say who likes astrology. And there's nothing wrong with that. But SNEAKO thinks that there's a problem with astrology. So like you understand how we're just again engaging in like this massive cognitive dissonance here, right?
Thinking. And so like the idea, I like to sit down in church sometimes, but I don't subscribe to any religion because I see the same thing as you putting on a mask and trusting the government. It's subscribing to a bigger system that I don't want to be a part of. I don't want to be controlled by anybody. I don't want to have to be like a soldier for any ideology because like they're wrong a lot of times. There's inconsistencies in every religion, but I like ideas of all of them and I believe in the idea of God. But it doesn't mean that I'm inconsistent because you grew up Christian and I don't follow what you believe in.
Yeah. So you don't believe in an idea of God. There's a convenient scapegoat you have when you want to preach some shit.
I believe in my idea of God.
You don't have an idea of God. You didn't invent God yourself. You heard it from somebody, right? Like you can't tell me any holy book. You can't tell me any holy book you read. You haven't read any of the religions. That's not true.
I've read the Bible.
Really?
Yeah.
Then why wouldn't you be a fan of the Christian God? How have you read the Bible, but you decided that God's not good enough for you?
Because I find inconsistencies of it, and some of the stories seem nonsensical to me, like
which
Noah's Ark
ones?
and parting the Red Sea. It seems like fairy tales a lot of the time. But I like some of the lessons that are in there, but I don't subscribe to anything completely.
Then why not just say? Then don't say.
Ideas.
Then don't say you're religious. Say you're spiritual. That's all you are. You like crystals. That's what you're basically saying.
No.
You got him on the crystals. I was fucking just saying that, bro. I was just saying it's the crystal thing, dude.
Oh, crystals are stupid.
Why? That's what you're telling me. You're worshiping crystals. You're picking and choosing things that you like from the Bible, and you're saying, I like these. Just what I said.
What are you talking about?
What part doesn't make sense to you?
What does crystals have to do with believing in God?
Crystals are, some women like to grab some wild shit, they put it on their counter and say, you know what, these things have meaning to me. I think this quartz is going to make me happy. And that's what you've done. You said, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, there's a couple of cool stories in there, but I don't know anything about the Old Testament. I don't know anything about the story of Moses. I don't know the religious significance of any of these stories, but I'm going to pick and choose the parts that I think are the coolest. I'm going to ignore everything else. That's not being religious, and that's not having a relationship with God. That's being a child and picking and choosing the things that feel best for you.
To be clear, being religious is just subscribing to a religion or being associated heavily with a religion. If you don't subscribe to any religion, then you
You
can't.
can still believe in God.
Sure, that would make you spiritual.
Yeah, it would make you spiritual, yeah.
Yeah, but if you believe in God, part of an obligation to God is not just the positives that you get from whatever spiritual fulfillment you think you're after. It's also the virtues that you have to subscribe to. And by definition, believing in God means that you can't be a man who does whatever he wants to do. Because part of being virtuous is denying yourself some of those baser urges. There's a reason why there are deadly sins. And a lot of those sins, right, things like pride or greed or lust are some of the things that you're preaching to your audience every single day they have to go after. Your whole idea of seeing a building and wanting it is literally a violation of what? The 9th commandment? Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's possessions? And you're telling me that's your main drive? That I know, but I'm pretty sure that's a pretty ubiquitous thing you're going to find through all religions, where they're probably going to tell you probably shouldn't be envious of other people's shit, and that is your main engine for what is making you a better person. It's not to be a better servant to God. It's not to be a better person for your wife or for your family or your friends. It's to buy shit.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I've said in this call, I've told you that it's not materialism. That's not the ultimate goal.
I know you said it, but
I've explained the master of the universe thing, but you want to apply your materialism thing to me really bad.
I'm not applying it. You're the one in the beginning of this call. Just anybody can go back and check. If you don't believe me, you said that a successful man is a guy that can buy houses, has a lot of women, and can get cars. And you said the same thing to Abba.
The capability to do whatever he wants to do. That's a real man. He's not controlled by anybody. That's what I said.
So I just want to.
Okay, I'm cooling down. Okay, sorry.
You're getting a little triggered, Destiny.
I'm not.
It's interesting to me because like SNEAKO will scream and like act like a fucking fool in a conversation, like with me, for instance, and like that's him being triggered. But Destiny will be assertive, and like how is that being triggered? It's very interesting to me what some of these people think being triggered means. It's very interesting.
Triggered at all, but I'm being really hard on you guys. Sorry.
Earlier, I caught a stray shot because I think you guys were talking, and you were like, I was telling Abba that I don't subscribe to the idea that everyone can be rich, but that anyone can be rich. Is that correct? So your estimation, SNEAKO, is not that everyone can be rich at the same time. It's that if someone tries, they can do it.
Anybody can be rich.
Okay,
yes, that's a very simple statement. That's true.
Fair. But you also recognize that's only for a minority of people that can be rich. It's not everyone that can be rich at the same time. Correct?
Yeah, anybody can be rich.
Okay, perfect. So my question is, if you're doing this on these platforms and you're trying to spread the truth to as many people as possible, but you also acknowledge that not everyone who follows your advice can be rich at the same time, what do you say to the rest of the people who won't be able to have access to those resources?
That's tough.
That's tough. Okay, so for the vast majority of your audience, that's tough. But for the ones who worked hard enough and made it, well, they're the only ones who kind of get to be content and be men in that sense.
Yeah.
In that true sense.
Yes.
Okay. So you don't think that because you're leaving behind so many people that your philosophy is not good for the masses?
They don't have to be left behind.
What?
You just told me they are, and you said that's tough.
They don't have to be left behind. They can still work and go get it. If you have an internet connection, you can be rich.
But you just said not everybody will be rich.
You just said
Not everybody will be.
I want you to hear yourself.
Can't be.
I just want you to hear. You've just told me that not everyone can be rich at the same time. We both agree. Cool. I then asked you, what about the rest of the people who can't be? What do you say to them? And then afterwards, you told me that's tough.
That's tough. Well, so work harder.
Yeah, so basically what you're saying is that fuck everybody else, and that's fine. But like you're not trying to generate good men to be the best version of themselves. You're trying to chase a bag. Just be honest about it. Stop pretending that you have like any moral virtuousness when it comes to any of your shit. I mean, that's reality here.
You can still get it. It's not too late. It's never too late.
Okay.
What's so hard to understand about that?
I think that, so let me end on a positive note, okay? I think that the better message that I would send to people is by the time you're 16, 17, 18, you probably figured out you have a couple of unique talents and things that you can do better than most of the other people around you. What you should do is you should try to work on the things that you're best at. Find a way to turn that into a career so that you can make enough money to provide for yourself and hopefully a family. And the skills that you need to practice through your teenage and early 20 years is the skills that you think you need for the rest of your life. So if at 30 or 35 or 40, you see yourself as having a lot of friends and a close family, then when you're in your 19, 20, 21 phase, you need to practice maintaining friendships and maintaining family. Those are the things that you should be working on. Because from 20 to 30, if you spend your whole time carving a statue inside of yourself that looks like a man trying to climb a $20 million building, that's going to be the person that you are when you turn 30. You should spend your whole life working on those virtues you have, working on the talents you have, and doing what you can with what you got. And then by the time you're 30, you're going to find that magically you've wound up exactly where you want to be because you've spent your whole life building towards it. If you build towards something else, you're not going to have what you want at the end of that road, in my opinion.
That was a good opinion. Well said.
SNEAKO, what is your opinion in closing?
Let's go get this shit, bro. Let's go get it.
To get this money?
Okay.
Let's go get it.
Let's go get this money?
Let's go get this bread, bro. Let's go get to it. Let's go get to it.
How did you? What did you originally get banned from YouTube for? What did they ever tell you? Was it just because you were doing push-ups or?
Coco misinformation and nudity, and they didn't say it. They said just reinstated my content. They said it didn't violate it. But there you go, Destiny. I mean, you were banned on Twitch too.
Yeah, it's all part of the bullshit. Yeah.
But they unbanned SNEAKO, right? So.
It's important to like open your eyes up to stuff like that. If you have an opinion that goes against their agenda, that should be enough, in my opinion, to wake people up. The fact that they try to take me down for nudity and misinformation about Coco is.
But nobody tried to take him down for nudity, right? Like that was something that got flagged, and then they reviewed it manually and they undid it. So, conspiracy-esque idea is a little silly.
It's just nonsense, and that should be enough to be like, huh? If I can't even speak against the programming and they're banning me for it, then maybe it's true.
Do you have an MCN?
No.
Oh shit. Okay. If you obviously,
I don't know what that is.
I don't even know how big you're on YouTube, but if you're doing your stuff, the only benefit to having an MCN, you said you had connections before, but like getting sometimes MCNs get you really high connections up on YouTube. So when your shit gets like banned for bullshit reasons, you've got like a dude that you can call and be like, hey, I need you to fucking talk to the people that are the head of like.
I don't think that they would ever sign me.
Maybe you might be able to find you if you get a big enough channel.
I think they're gonna think I'm toxic.
No, the MCNs are like independent of YouTube. They're just like multi-channel networks. They just manage a bunch of channels. So if you've got like bigger YouTube friends,
they take a cut.
Yeah, well, they might take a cut, but it might be worth it
They
because
will take a cut.
sure, but it might be worth it because for people like you, if you are getting banned for bullshit or whatever, you can reach out to a dude and you can say like, hey, I need you to see like what you can do at YouTube to escalate this shit, because it's really scary when you start getting banned and shit and you don't have a person to talk to. You're like at the mercy of YouTube's bullshit system and you're like, fuck. That's like super scary, but at least it's super scary to me.
Yeah, it's fair.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a connect for it, that'd be dope. But, yeah.
Okay. Well, listen.
Any thoughts, Abba?
I think on mine, I was just enjoying listening to you guys. I think you guys had a spirited debate on both sides. So for me, on the outside, I was just listening, and it was cool. It was cool to watch other people just do it in front of me. So yeah.
Your camera wasn't working the whole time, Destiny. This stream was just like my dumb head.
Oh well.
You can just probably edit it in afterwards in post production by taking from his stream.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, listen, guys, I won't keep you. I know Destiny's got another stream with the two conservative chicks, so I'll let him go do that.
Yeah. Well, hey, you guys have fun. Thanks a lot for the combo. I appreciate it. These are like hard combos, so like I have a mad respect for you, even if we disagree.
Let's do it again, 2 weeks or 3 weeks or something like that. I was thinking a lot about the last debate we had, and this one too. I think I'm gonna think about.
All right. Well, hey, good luck, man. I'll see you later. Peace out.
Take
All
it
right.
easy.
Cool.
Peace out,
Fun
bro.
stuff. Let's got like another 30 seconds.
Damn,
left.
dude. The spirituality shit has given me like the narrative structure to work around, like hardcore. I feel like I can contextualize a lot of my ideas, and I have like vehicles for them now. Like before, I had like a whole bunch of bags and shit that I thought were really good, but now I have like I've got like a car to drive in to like head to different places with it. I feel like I can hammer points home like really well.
Well, all right, cool conversation. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and another special shout out to all my Patreon and Twitch subs. If you'd like to support this channel further than you already have by just watching the video alone, go down to the links below where you can sub on my Patreon, which will allow you to get your name on this beautiful black wall. Or you can go to the Twitch page and you can actually use a free Amazon Prime sub, if you have Amazon Prime, to subscribe. Thank you very much, guys. Take care.